Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Speed Gaming. I'm August 40th, joined by Star. How you doing tonight, Star?
Hey, August, I'm doing good. We are getting started right away as we have Qualifier 2 for the Ocarina of Time tournament for the Speed Gaming Live Tourney 2020. We have Eligatra and Mr. Mario on restream today. Let's see, Mido's house, which has Loopy, Boomerang, okay. Heart Piece, and they heard Loopy, alright.
Alrighty, all hail Lord Banana, 35 seconds in.
Indeed.
Anyone just joining us, this is qualifier number 2 for the Speed Gaming Live tournament happening later in November. Had the first one just yesterday, featuring one Gavaroni and Dylan Meeble. Very high praise. Tonight we got Eligatra and Mr. Mario amongst 5 other competitors. So we're gonna see exactly how they're gonna go along through the seed.
Indeed. Early Boomerang is a very nice find. For those who are more familiar with more typical Ocarina of Time racing, this is slightly different from your typical weekly settings. We have Rainbow Bridges locked by all 3 spiritual stones, and they will need a Shadow and Spirit medallions. They'll need a Shadow and Spirit medallions to get the Gen's boss key. Also, I forgot to catch their starting medallion, and so we'll need to catch or stone because they do start with one, and I accidentally missed that.
Yeah, ditto. Kind of jumped right on into it. Didn't really have any time to peek at that starting screen. Anyone in chat, feel free to help us out. But the settings are very slightly different in an attempt to make the seed hopefully a little shorter than your average weekly settings.
That is a feature of Randomizer Nemesis 9. I'm not sure when it was added, but D-pad items have been a thing for quite a while at this point. Well, I guess you've been around for longer than I have. Any idea when that was added? D-pad items?
That was sometime around 3.0.
Okay, so it's been quite a while. We're on 5.2, and 5.0's been around for a year, so not recent.
Yep,
yeah, it's a nice little quality of life feature. It has just the Ocarina as child, but it has both Iron Boots and Hover Boots as adult, making Shadow Temple and Water Temple a lot easier.
I do believe in the next update there is some debate amongst what to add for a child D-pad.
Indeed, Prelude is
new
unburning.
to Randomizer, don't feel free to don't hesitate rather to ask any sort of questions if you're new to the Zooter community here.
Okay, what is the command? I know we have one for that matter.
Yeah,
there it is. Okay,
without the Z.
I can't remember because a lot of stuff for SG is called Zooter, even though we mostly call it Ooter side of things. We actually aren't sure. Okay, we started with the Fire Medallion. I got to stream up, the ad's over, I can now go see that, and, Tracker. Okay, marked it. I struggle with text-only trackers. I'm much more used to the picture-based ones we mostly have for Ocarina of Time Rando. Yeah, we're aware. There's a regular bottle of Richard.
Yeah, nice find. Unfortunately, no early letter to go along with that banana.
Mind helping me with also keeping on tracking? Because the 2 of us are doing double duty with tracking and comms. So please yell at us if we missed something. Alright, hints. Spirit Way of the Hero, Domain Foolish, Cack Way of the Hero, 20 Skulls Dead.
Alright, so some nice hints. 20 Skullful is a nice one to find, so we're only going to see 10 of those spider tokens from these 2, but they are neck and neck.
30, 40, and 50 may still have things, though, August.
That is true, that's right. I kind of jumped the gun. I always assume 30, 40, and 50 are not going to be nothing because we get hints from them.
Yes, they do, but they will. We'll see. I mean, our weekly earlier this morning, which I was also on commentary for, had a 40 skulls A strength upgrade. Frogs 2 is dead.
Anyone unfamiliar with the Ocarina of Time randomizer, these gossip stones have been altered to give these runners a little bit of information. Generally, that information is free, although there are other settings where that information isn't free. It requires other items. But we've seen a couple of useful hints so far.
I think that was 40 skulls. It's Neighbor's Love. I need to double check. That is 40 skulls is Neighbor's Love. The stripe is a little pixelated, so I have a bit of trouble reading hints, so it's not as bad with 2 players. I completed a practice race for these settings that had it 4 players, and I could not read hints at all. Period. Yep. Nada, nothing. I guess it's how SG is set up, unfortunately. The stream quality is just such the case that I can't read hints well.
I mean, also, too, these runners are mashing through those text boxes.
Oh, indeed. Speed. It takes some practice to be able to read these hints at high speed. I'm usually okay at it, but poor quality doesn't help. Alright. Now, Elagacho only pushing 1 block, Mr. Mario pushing both. L is slightly ahead as we see Saria's Song and ZL.
Elagacho catching up a little bit. Mr. Mario had the lead going up to the castle, but Elagacho with a little bit of time save there.
Marking off songs. I think I did that right. Yeah, even with watching for a while, it is tricky. EXR here in chat is one of really good at is one of the people in chat who's really good at catching hints. Yes, this is a race. Labama. SG Live Qualifier number 2 for Ocarina of Time Rando. We are featuring Elagacho and Mr. Mario today.
Just 2 of our 7 competitors. The qualifier is an optional part of the tournament happening later in November. A cash prize tournament, mind you.
Indeed.
I was there in person last year. I got to meet Elagacho and our featured racers from last night, Gavaroni and Dylan Meeble. A couple of other guys. Fortunately, this year, due to current events, we're doing it online, so hopefully everyone out there gets excited. You no longer have to travel to Washington, D.C. You can do it right from the comfort of your bedroom.
Indeed, yeah, the time is kind of wonky. 8:30 p.m. Eastern is late for many. It starts at 2:30 in the morning for our European folks. That's not exactly a great time. We had one runner literally run from restreaming a race.
Yeah.
For an Ocarina of Time tourney, as we see Storms on Malin. That's a nice early find.
Absolutely.
One helping out with tracking as well as I guess I'm trying to take notes.
Am on it.
Yeah. Because if you take notes and I try and if you track and I try and take notes, I think we can hopefully keep things straight between us. It's double duty is tricky. And I'm not used to this tracker, which isn't helping.
But, so that is a good find here early on, Song of Storms. It might influence one of these runners to State Child. Generally, you see them do what's known as the 3-song route. They grab a song from the castle, one here in Lon Lon Ranch, and then they'll do a save warp, most likely complete the Deku Tree, and get the 3rd song from Saria's. Now, given Song of Storms, that might tempt them into the bottom of the well, but generally after the 3rd song, you see most runners head back to the Temple of Time, pull that Master Sword, and start their Adult 1 segment.
Indeed. Also, interestingly enough, August, they do not have a bonus song.
Oh, Song of Storms
that off
from
trackers.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. You're good. This tracker is... Have fun reading a list of things and trying to find the right one.
No, I just was associating the location as opposed to the
That's good.
song.
Which doesn't help. Also, we are seeing our first real divergence. Elagacho going to go to Gerudo Valley, while Mr. Mario heads straight for Kokiri Forest. And looking like he's doing some shopping for the Deku Tree.
Yeah, now this is a very interesting play. The checks in Gerudo Valley can oftentimes be orphaned for quite a while. So if there's anything here, it'll be good news for Elagatua.
Indeed, we
Mr.
saw
Mario-
this come back to bite people in the EU Weekly this today. Another runners on Restream did Gerudo Valley particularly early, and it had the only bow.
Yeah, and to
In
note
logic.
there, to the left of that Deku Tree was our second hint for Spirit Temple Way of the Hero. Anyone new to Zooter, Way of the Hero means there is an item logically required to beat the seed, as we see our second hint for the Kakariko Village Way of the Hero. Now, if we find a third hint for either of those locations, well, there is a second item, absolutely
Guaranteed
logically
to be a second
necessary.
item.
Yeah, guaranteed.
There might still be more than one anyway, even if we don't find a third copy. But there's at least two. Speaking of, oh, there's a mirror shield in Gerudo Valley.
So that is something. If Spirit Temple is required, that's good news for Elagatua. No telling when Mr. Mario is going to be back there.
Indeed. Okay, now I'm working off the mirror shield. For some reason, this tracker has progressive shields. I'm going to ignore the other two, because...
Yep.
Not the point. Atlas Shooting Gallery is dead. Waterfall is dead, because you can peek that. I couldn't see it myself, but I presume Elagacho can see it just fine on his end, so he's skipping it.
Yep, just like in the business world, the customer is always right, the racer is always right, until
Oh,
it's
and
like
there's a
2 hours
bomb
in.
bag in Deku.
Yeah, very nice find from Mr. Mario here, and a
And a
strength,
strength upgrade! Wowza!
So Dodongo's Cavern,
Okay.
just automatically wide open, as well as a whole bunch of checks up on Death Mountain Trail. Some very nice find from Mr. Mario, but Elagatua should be picking that up relatively soon. Gonna peek at what's here in the lake, set up his Scarecrow song, and most likely do some shell fishing.
Indeed, I think that's a nut. On the valley, on the
just-
water spot.
Yeah, just like you have difficulty reading some of his text, I can almost never see what's in the lake here, unless it's like a bright blue bloopy, or a red rupee, or a heart piece.
And yeah, and it, as I mentioned earlier, not the greatest stream quality also doesn't help. I remember seeing a freestanding bottle in one of the practice race I commentated, and I just went and looked, and I was like, yeah, I think it was freestanding bottle, and I was like, I have no idea what that is. I can't even, that was a heartbeat on the Colossus Arch, I think it was. I was like, I don't even tell what that is. Is that a rupee? Is that a heart piece? Is that a bottle? What is that? No clue. By the way, skill in Deku Tree, that's nice.
Very
Fine.
nice. Solar scale inside the Deku Tree from Mr. Mario.
Indeed. Deku Tree absolutely loaded today. Did Mr. Mario check the other chest in that room? Because I might have just completely missed it.
Yeah, I hope he's not pulling a wooden barrel.
Mm-hmm. I remember him going over to the side chest in that room, but not, like, the one by the skull, but not the other one. Little confused by that.
I was busy clicking buttons.
Indeed. Oh, there's strength too! What
Hey.
the heck?
Alright, so, yeah, Strength 2 plus a Sphere 0 Mirror Shield. I'm gonna say
What
Spirit
the-
Temple is gonna be required this seed. Just a hunch, though.
You don't say!
Anybody want to challenge my bet? Aw, where's I Ate Your Pie when I need him? He's a gambling
Yeah,
fool.
this tree's loaded. Strength, 2 strengths, a bomb bag, and a scale? What the heck, game? I won't be surprised if we see a Deku Way of the Hero.
Yep, but unfortunately for Mr. Mario, Elagatua is right behind him, so he's gonna pick all that good stuff up. Mr. Mario, on the other hand, probably not going to be headed over to Gerudo Valley anytime soon. So it'll be interesting to see if that Mirror Shield will come into play sooner rather than later.
Indeed. Science Object reminder that it would be Stone Spirit, Water Medallion Spirit would be the equivalent in these settings. Because it's Stone's Bridge! On the other hand, Burning Cack Medallions are dead useless since we saw a hint that Burning Cack is prelude. There's Goma down for Mr. Mario. Alligator finding out the water is wet and Cack is way of the hero. Long-running meme in the OOTR community is that Cack is always. So Kakariko has probably the better part of a dozen checks. Nice bomb shoes on Goma to go with everything else in this tree. Kakariko has like a dozen item checks, it's got 2 songs, it's ridiculously powerful, and there's almost always something in there. Oh, that's a whammy. Light medallion. That is as patently useless as useless gets. Nemesis dungeons, including Bottom of the Well, Ice Cavern, and Gerudo Trading Grounds, are considered separate from their overworld areas for the purpose of hints. So whatever's in the well does not count as part of Kakariko Way of the Hero. Or a Spirit Temple is not part of Desert Colossus. Was that 30 or 50? It has the Stone of Agony.
Unfortunately, didn't get to see, but we will get an instant replay as you see left to right. Alligator is following in Mr. Mario's footsteps.
Indeed. Also, don't forget Light Medallion. Oh, Frox 2 is still dead. I think I saw that was dead earlier. I really struggle with trying to read hints on this stream quality. It sucks. As we see a wallet. 50 was the Stone of Agony. Thank you. In other words, dead. There is a setting in this randomizer that can make that. Stone of Agony can be useful in certain settings, but not in these. You can have hints require the Stone of Agony, or...
I alluded to that earlier.
Or you can... you can have hints refer to the... You can have hints require the Stone of Agony, or you can also have hidden grottos logically require the Stone of Agony. I'm not sure if that Storm's Grotto counts as one, but there's quite a few around Hyrule. Races are conducted with that trick turned on, so I genuinely don't remember which. Okay, Mr. Mario definitely skipped that chest in Deku, and it's definitely dead, as Mr. Mario finds a hookshot on the Ocarina memory game.
Yeah, the dead chest not as nice as that hookshot, so we are seeing a kind of a repeat from the first qualifier. Lots of items really early.
That is funny, Nemesis. I'm usually better at catching these, but the stream quality just sucks. Lost Woods Way of the Hero in Lost Woods. Thanks, game! Fantastic location for that. I'd say that Hookshot's Way of the Hero, alright? Lost in Scrub Grotto for Mr. Mario. Alligator getting strength 2, just a heart piece on the scrubs. For those unfamiliar with Ocarina of Time Randomizer, there are only 3 scrubs randomized in what we call typical settings without Scrub Shuffle on. These are the scrubs that sell you a nut upgrade, a stick upgrade, and a heart piece in vanilla, which were the grotto that Mr. Mario just did, there's another one underneath the bridge in Lost Woods, and there is a third in Hyrule Field next to Lake Hylia. He did not check the back scrub because that one is not randomized in these settings. It is only randomized if Scrub Shuffle, also known as Scrub Sanity, is on.
Yep, Scrub
in which
Sanity.
Case, there are 33 extra scrubs added, because there are 36 in the game.
That's one of my more favorite of the sanity settings. That and the Grotto Shuffle is a really fun option.
Yep, Sanity, common name for an assortment of different settings in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer, of which there are dozens of settings, I'm pretty sure. Good 10 or, like, at least 10 or 15 major settings and any number of smaller minor settings. There's a heck ton of things that you can randomize. We keep it relatively simple in in these settings, but you can randomize a lot. You can randomize Deku Scrubs, you can randomize the Skulltulas, you can randomize the warp slot, the songs with the items. The list goes on. As we see Nocturne on Saria.
Yep,
Or
and a
Mr.
very
Mario.
nice fight, Goma fight from Elagatua.
Indeed, GTG Center Chest is dead for Mr. Mario. And we're gonna see a couple more hints. Sacred Forest Meadow. Let's see. Sacred Forest Meadow was Way of the Hero. Gee, thank you. The game's being very funny with these Way of the Hero hints today. And Jabu is Way of the Hero. I'm pretty sure. Well, that's all of our Way of the Hero hints. That early boomerang is going to be rather handy.
Yeah, all depends on when these dungeons and Way of the Heroes come into effect.
Indeed. Well, we are a requiem for being able to check out that Spirit Way of the Hero.
Requiem,
Elagatua.
Long Shot, or Opponent Song.
Yeah, or that. Skull Kid is dead. And alright, Mr. Mario is out. Time for Way of the Hero Cat.
But I guess he doesn't have enough rupees to check that scrub. But that's going to be a check that he's orphaning off back there.
Indeed, a check and a... No, he has enough what was that? Is that Skull Mask has a magic meter?
I didn't quite catch that one.
That was a magic... That was a... Yep, chat confirming. Skull Mask is a magic meter. What-oh. The
Not
TARDIS
too
is
bad.
just a huge rupee. It's a good early hit to have, but it's definitely a bit...
Well, it's early and it's right after getting Nocturne. That's why I say it's not so bad.
Not so bad. No, Skull Mask is you have to show the letter to the guard here in Kakariko. Go purchase a key and mask in the mask shop in Castletown. Come back to show the key and mask to the guard. Then go back to the mask shop, purchase the Skull Mask, and then go to the Deku Theater in Lost Woods to go show the Skull Mask for a reward. And apparently that reward is a magic meter today. It's an always hit in tournament hint distribution which we're using because it's kind of annoying to get. Nocturne makes it nicer, but it could take you several minutes of to do. And a lot of really annoying, potentially just inefficient routing just to get it done.
Or you could play the Dev Branch from Roman and just turn Open Mask Shop on.
I do
have
believe
all
that
the
has...
masks on,
I do believe that has recently been merged to the main dev as well, August. Oh, Mr. Mario's checking out the Lost Woods Bridge.
Yep, Elagatua
Yep, Ice Cavern is Requiem, they ain't getting that fast.
Well, it all depends on where we find our letter. We already have bombs in a scale, boomerang. So I can see that the letter could be fairly easily accessible. As we see Mr.
There's
Mario
a not
climbing
zero
up the
chance of
tower
the
here
letter
back.
being in. Yep. We have a trick enable that lets you get this guy with nothing. Hey, there's the lens. Which is logically required for not much. I also completely missed the back of Cat hint. Red Rupee. Chat, my enlightening us on what that was. Okay, the lens is not on our tracker.
Nope, no lens.
I would rather have that there, but it's not, so.
Yep, that was one of my suggestions. Remove that Deku seed bag and add the lens.
Also,
we will hope to get that changed in the near future.
yeah, there are 7 total runners we're just showing 2. There's Hookshot for Elagatua. Yeah, there's a few things I'm not a particular fan of. We have separate things for Slingshot and Slingshot bags. We have bows and quivers are separate. Bombs and bomb bags are separate. There's no lens. The song names make no sense. For reference, Forest, Fire, Spirit, and Shadow are supposed to be Minuet, Bolero, Requiem, and Nocturne. Yeah, they don't make sense. We hope to get this sorted soon, so it's more Sensible.
But do not let my co-commentator disparage you. If you'd like to get involved behind the scenes, we'd love to have you here. Either
That
in
is
the
for
commentary
sure.
booth, in the behind-the-scenes tracking, or even in the racing room, if you are so inclined.
Yep.
Have
Yeah,
fear.
no, just letting
More the
chat
merrier.
know, especially about the songs, because that is not intuitive. I'm sorry, but Forest Fire Spirit and Shadow just isn't intuitive.
I would agree there, but bowling prize, what do we have?
It is a slingshot, as chat said.
Oh, curious. Curious find. Putting our Deku tree fully into logic.
And another bomb
another
bag.
bomb
into
bag.
heat.
Yeah,
Ball
not gonna
ball
be picking that
ball
up.
bag. That's actually vanilla. Or French vanilla.
It does look like Mr. Mario is gonna finish up these minigames here in Castle Market and then pull that Master Sword. I am really curious to see if Elgatua is gonna follow that same route. Might take that scale down Zora's River. Might go into Kakariko Village for that bottom of the well. We shall see.
We will indeed. I think they're likely to hope to find a Zelda's Lullaby in perhaps the windmill, or maybe in the crater, or before they try and before they go to the well, since Zelda's Lullaby does lock 4 checks.
That is a good point.
We're also going to see the pedestal check, so we will know what dungeons they need to complete. They got a double whammy of starting with the fire medallion and getting the light medallion off Deku Tree, so... We have gotten a very good set of hints so far. We are missing 30 skulls, 2 foolish hints, and 1 sometimes hint. That is all for us. Now, let's see if I can read the pedestal correctly, since Miss Elagachu is just doing stuff we've seen already.
Yeah, I have found pedestal is a bit easier to read, especially as these runners mash through them.
Okay, Jabu, Fire, Forest, Shadow?
And
Okay,
the Dango's Cavern was our Shadow Medallion.
Okay, so I think Jabu was our Forest Medallion. Fire,
Yep.
our Forest. You said DC was our Shadow?
Yes, sir.
And Shadow is the Spirit Medallion, then.
Yep.
Yep. And, which does mean that Spirit,
Is this
Water,
stone, so...
and Forest are our 3 stones today. Okay, Skull Mask is magic in the graveyard. Yeah, we saw that earlier. Yeah.
What was our water medallion?
Fire, I think, if I caught it correctly, but I really struggle with. That was very fast. Let me go pull up
We'll get a
Elagatua's
second chance
personal.
at it.
I'll pull up Elagatua's personal stream to go read his personal tracker once this ad ends, of course.
That was Mr. Mario who checked that, though.
I am Mr. Mario. I'll just pull them, but their streams both up. Yeah. Brain fart.
But not sure if Elagatua is doing the dreaded chicken check. 7 chickens scattered around Kakariko Village takes a good 2 minutes.
I don't think so, considering which side of the
memiest.
I don't think so, considering which side of the fence he dropped that chicken on. Oh, that was another cop.
Yeah, that's the chicken that spawns in front of the pen, so you might double back for that one.
Here's the thing, so unlike ZSR, okay, yeah, Fire was our water medallion, the notes sheet. Yeah, we actually can't see these runners' personal trackers, we're seeing exactly what you are, so... Oh, hammer on Dante race! And a nice trap! Hammer... Okay, there it is on this tracker. We also should probably mark off as a child trade last August on the tracker, I guess. Since that's actually relevant today. I keep forgetting that's a thing on here. Yeah, we both are. There's a lot of things on here I'm not used to tracking.
But Elgatua is interested in that chicken check. So, just like
Indeed,
that Gerudo
also-
Valley play, it might pay off for him.
Oh, that was a stick on the windmill. Nice stick upgrade, actually. I did not see what that was due to the lighting and a few other things. Alright, Song of Time in the windmill. That could be Way of the Hero.
Possibly, unlikely, but only time
I mean,
will
the
tell.
other option we've seen has so far has been the Lens of Truth on the Man on the Roof have been the two things we've seen so far in Kakariko. Neither of which are... Yeah, this medallion stone layout is pretty terrible for these settings. In weekly settings, Forest Water Spirit Stones would be fantastic. In these settings... blah. Just blah. For these settings, this medallion stone layout is terrible. Well, there's another slingshot on Cow House. That's definitely not Way of the Hero. With items that have multiple copies that all serve the exact same functionality, such as bomb bags, bows, and slingshots, they can only be Way of the Hero if they lock both of the other copies, and that is definitely not the case with that slingshot. Goma had nothing, and we have seen another slingshot anyway, so. Slingshot's not slingshot locked. Slingshot cannot be Way of the Hero. Song of Time and Lens both can be, though. Not a particularly pleasant thought.
We're having a high five, 7 years apart.
Yep.
But we are getting the chicken check in just another couple seconds. Will this pay off like Elagachua's Lake Gerudo Valley?
Nope.
Nope.
Just the heart piece. Mr. Mario picking up a Hylian Shield and is now going to go climb Death Mountain. Probably going to do Dodongo's Cavern soon. It's not only the Shadow Medallion, the Spirit Medallion, Shadow Medallion, words, it's only the Shadow Medallion, it's also full clearable and just a bunch of really, really quick checks.
As well as the 3 easy checks he's got here on Death Mountain Trail.
May choose to do Goron City before Dodongo's Cavern as well. We'll see what his routing is.
Yeah, that's always an interesting place, seeing runners jump through Goron City, go up through the crater, and then back down.
Is that a Goron tunic on top of DC?
I believe so.
It looked like a
As,
tunic, at
Elagachua
least.
goes over here to check the Bulba O Destiny.
It looked like
But
a
it looks
tunic, but I think it was a Goron tunic. Oh, Ganon's Castle is foolish. Thank you, game. That's actually pretty nice with Stone Bridge. They know they don't need to touch it. Although, admittedly, with our stone layout, I don't think they were getting there anytime fast anyway. 30 Skulls is dead.
But it looks like Elagachua is going to be following in Mr. Mario's footsteps here, pulling the Master Sword.
It does appear so. Ganon's Castle is I mean, I don't... With how terrible this stone layout is, Forest, Water, and Spirit, I didn't think they were going to get there anytime fast anyway. But it's good to know that Ganon's Castle is foolish. Because it is a bit more useful than in our typical weekly settings, considering there is a split win condition. One condition to get into Ganon's Castle, another for the boss key.
That's why y'all should tune in not only to this race, but the continued qualifier in the tournament. There's only a whole bunch of shenanigans that can and probably will happen.
Indeed. Alright, Elagacho is going to go bowling for a slingshot now. Mr. Mario is apparently having some trouble blowing up the stairs. Okay, now he gets it. Not sure what was happening there. It took him 3 tries to get it today.
It is our slingshot here for Elegachua.
And seeing a vanilla bomb bag is leaving it behind.
Yeah, don't want more explosives. Plenty
No,
of that
I
object.
don't. Do you remember what the third bomb bag is in vanilla, actually? Because I have no idea.
So there's one in Dodongo's Cavern, one from Bowling, and one from the Hot Rodder.
Ah, that's the third one. That makes sense, actually, now that I think about it. Never really think about the vanilla bomb bag locations yet. Vanilla slingshot and vanilla bow locations come up now and again, but vanilla bomb bag locations not as much. Alright, Alligator going to Keaton Mask now. Let's mark that. I forget that this is a thing.
He wants his magic meter sooner rather than later, it looks like. Although he doesn't have anything to use that magic with.
No, but Nocturne
So
is Way of the Hero, and unbeknownst to him, he will find out that Shadow Temple is required, so... Yes.
Yeah.
Also, nice eyeball frog. Thankfully, Big Oron is dead.
Yeah, but Mr. Mario is here making some real progress here in Dodongo's Cavern.
We'll be able to finish you here pretty shortly. A bomb bag is all you need here. These settings. Where is the frog? The frog's not even on the tracker. I'm just gonna go with prescription, I suppose, because it's gonna revert whenever they save warp.
Exactly. A temporary item is not on the tracker there.
Nope. Learning how to use this tracker as we go. Well, I gotcha. Getting the stone medallion layout.
Looks like we're going to continue this instant replay. Still no idea when that mirror shield is going to come into play.
No, although it'll depend on, I suspect likely where the Ruto's letter ends up, because Nothing Looks Requiem and a Way of the Hero Forest Medallion Jabu, which is itself a bit of a... It's looking like, August, we are gonna have this settings version of Oops All Dungeons for items, if nothing else, today. With Forest Medallion Jabu being Way of the Hero, us starting with the Fire Medallion, and Light Medallion Deku being loaded. It's also just Deku Tree that most players do quite early.
Yeah, but Mr. Mario
they
is
might not
taking
technically
on the King Dinosaur here.
Indeed, they might not
bosses in the
technically.
game.
Oh, indeed. Sadly, you still can't one-cycle him. There it is. Yeah, so even though the Forest, Fire, Water, and Light medallions are not necessary in these settings, it looks like they're picking up the Forest, Fire, and Light medallions anyway. Maybe not the Water medallion, they're really hoping they don't need the Water medallion, although an early hammer makes that a little monkey. We know that Burning Cat is dead, it doesn't mean the non-required dungeons don't have items, though. And just a blue key on King Dodongo.
So we'll see Mr. Mario progress up and through Death Mountain Trail, to Goron City and the Crater, pick up a couple of extra songs. Now, I imagine he'll possibly jump into the Forest Temple once he gets that way, as Elegachua got his reward from the Dampe race, that Megaton Hammer.
Indeed, I just marked it. I don't think he's very happy to see it, considering Fire is the Water medallion that you really don't touch it today.
Also a possibility that it's there just to guarantee that you're not gonna miss your way into Dodongo's Cavern for that Shadow Medallion.
I suppose. Yeah, Burning Cat isn't necessary, but it looks like it might be some variety of Oops AD for anyway. With Jabu, Way of the Hero, and Deku just being Deku Tree, with 2 strengths, a bomb bag, a hook just everything was in Deku, apparently. I completely missed the hidden Death Mountain Trail Storms Grotto. Did you catch it, August? As we see just a bloopy on the chest.
It was a barren hint. I think the first letter of the location is a G. That's all I
Oh, that
got.
might be Ganon. Oh, Ganon's, thank you. Chat.
Yeah.
VXR is very good at catching hints. I am looking in different directions. Frame quality is bad, which makes for I just can't. I'm having a bad day with hints again. Yeah, that'll be another Ganon's hint.
But by all intents and purposes, Mr. Mario is in the lead until that mirror shield is necessary. And we know it will be at some point. But the later it is, the better it is for Mr. Mario. He has a long shot at that point, or some hover boots by the time he goes across the valley. It won't be any problem.
Yep. Alright, now Mr. Mario is going to do the Goron City Maze the fast way, involving some crouch stabs. This looks ridiculous, but then again, crouch stabs are stupid and broken. These are not quite waffle. These are weekly settings, other than the fact that the wind condition is slightly different. Instead of all medallions bridge, we have I completely missed the hit in the Goron City Maze, Sora Tunic in the maze as well. We have Rainbow Bridge is opened up by the 3 spiritual stones, and Ganon's boss key is on the Vanilla Lighter cutscene. Chat, mind enlightening me on. Didn't see which Colossus hand it was good. Alright, thank you, VXR. I gotcha. Mr. Mario. Doesn't have a personal hint tracker. Eligatua does. We'll see it later, I suppose.
Nothing to it but to keep on trucking through it. Mr. Mario is finished up with Goron City. Nothing here. So
indeed. Also,
the crater, guaranteed to have a song here. Now I've noticed more often than not, Zelda's Lullaby is just up here and to the left.
Okay, bomb refill on the crater. That took a really long while to spot. Also, we do have tunics on this tracker for. Nope, that is a Vanilla Bolero.
Interesting. So just a handful of spots that Zelda's Lullaby can be. So you're gonna be inside, or no, it can't be inside the Temple of Time, right? So it has to be in the Sacred Forest Meadow, which is probably why that is our way of hero.
Well, Nocturne is also way of hero because Shadow's required.
Oh, that's right. We got Nocturne there too, so it'll be interesting. See how the rest of the seed plays out.
Also, what? Jabu may not be Hard's Yell Lock. There's a second copy of our Requiem hint. Or Requiem Nice
right,
hint, and...
Oh, there's our light arrows. We need those to beat the game.
But yeah, we can use the scale to get into Jabu potentially.
Yeah, that scale was Sphere 0, so we don't need ZL. That's right.
No, we do not.
It's not
the
for
scale is just
Jabu, So one of the funner things about the Ocarina of Time randomizer is just the giant puzzle aspect of this.
Indeed. Thank you, VXR, for checking the quad. That helps a bunch. Those Colossus left in dead to the maze. Thank you. Okay, there's the other copy of the Hidden Death Mountain Trail, and then it was our last Sometimes hint, actually. So we are just missing our last foolish hint, and that is it for hints today.
Nothing there through the crater. Doesn't want to jump into the fire temple, and I can't blame him. So he's just gonna use a little shortcut here in the city and go through the Lost Woods. So we're gonna have our second high five here in Goron City. And, oh, he's gonna take a moment and go out of the way to check this hint by Medigoron.
Oh, Trail is foolish. Gee, thanks! He's already done all of it!
Well, 99% of it.
He hasn't done the fairy, that's it. I guess it saves him the time to do the fairy fountain, but he would have liked to see that before he did all of Death Mountain Trail.
Because the game knows.
The game's being funny with hints today. Not only, besides that, it also gave Sacred Forest Meadow Way of the Hero in Sacred Forest Meadow, and Lost Woods Way of the Hero in Lost Woods, both of which are just the game being really, really silly. That bomb refill really is almost impossible to spot on the crater. Also, we need to mark the Zorus Unic for Eligachua.
These guys don't need no stinking thing.
I know, but chat's gonna yell at us if we forget to mark the things. You and I know that, but chat's still gonna yell at us all the same. Also, Ferora's Wind is sadly raw on this tracker. And there's Zeal, not surprised. And that is, here's 9 tokens for Legacho, but that is Forest Lumber for Mr. Mario.
Yeah, I suspected as much that he might jump in here, looking for a French vanilla bow.
Might as well. The courtyards aren't too bad. As long as he's going to be able to recoil since he does have strengths. He can recoil into the courtyard, even if that is Kurt in a Song of Time decides to get there if he really cares to do that. Either way, it's fine. There's a Deku Shield.
Well, also the problem is there isn't a whole lot left for these guys to do at this point.
Never mind. He's back to fire. Bolero. He's dipping the first chest and leaving. Okay.
Well, I was just about to say there's not much left available to them. There's a couple checks in Zora's Domain, Zora's River, Fire Temple. Other than that, it's bottom of the well and a couple child checks.
Likely,
sure
yeah.
What he's doing.
Crater Berry.
He's got ZL.
He had been able to do this earlier. Yeah, bottom of the well is looking like a very good play right now. That is 14 checks, all of which they can 13 items, sorry, all of which they can get. Crater Berry is busted. And that is a save warp. Likely to go back child at this point. There's really not much to do with Adult. I don't think he wants to dip Water Battalion Fire anytime fast.
Yeah, I think that's the right play, other than maybe staying in Forest Temple a little longer. But he's got his plan, so I will, like I said a few moments ago, trust the runner.
Thought about maybe going out, I'm not sure for what, but changed his mind and is going back. Or maybe just going in the wrong direction for that matter and is going child now. Key to the seed will be crossing the valley and getting over to that spirit temple. Well, let's see where Mr. Mario heads as Eligachua here into Dongo's Cavern. Not gonna get anything valuable until he slays the dinosaur and grabs that Shadow Medallion. Yep, DC was otherwise patently useless. Ten Skulls has not been checked yet. Hi, Hyper Elemental. Mr. Mario now picking up the Keaton mask. Time to go mark that.
Yeah, as well as not forgetting this fairy fountain out in the back here.
Oh my goodness, I have seen people last location this fairy fountain before because it's just one that's easy to miss.
You generally grab the check here pretty early and don't often have to come back here.
Nope. Even if you go early, Adult, it's very rare for you to be in Hyrule Castle with Zelda's Lullaby and bombs on your first trip. So it's always a return trip to come here, and it is not a good one to come back. Vanilla Din could actually be pretty funny. Nope, just the purple rupee. And that's Nocturne right away. That's gonna be a well play, it looks like right here.
Yep. Did he get He did. He got the time of day, so he's also gonna check our favorite grandpa.
Dante can also get the song here, which we haven't seen a hint for, so we'll find out what this is.
My vanilla senses are tingling.
There is a good chance of this indeed being Vanilla Suns. The song that's that or a POTUS song are the two useful songs we might find out here. The others are all collectively useless to various degrees.
Just gotta boomerang some bats as Elgatua finds some sticks.
We have actually seen both stick upgrades because I do believe the other one is in the windmill.
Yes, sirree. And anyone who is a fan and lover of dinosaurs, I would encourage you to look away. As Mr. Mario finding the useless Serenade of Water here in Royal Tomb.
Indeed, Serenade being one of two songs that has no use at all in these settings. It's a nice warp, but that's about it. And they can't even track it on this tracker!
In an effort to save on real estate, that was exploited. As Mr. Mario doing a fancy out-of-logic trick to grab this chest. Using a trick known as flame storage, and getting the fire arrows. And the reason my co-commentary is bursting out laughing is that is logically locked by a fire source.
In this case,
locked
Din's fire, so that is incredibly useless.
Well, I mean, Mr. Mario might be able to benefit from its use. We will see.
That just found that funny though. It's so useless. It's great.
Well, Legato finishing BC is going back into Kakariko. We'll see where he goes next.
Yeah. Oh, he has forgotten the Rita Grow? No. 10 Skulltulas.
Ah, that makes sense. Mr. Mario, which reminds me we should track the skulls. No, the funny thing is it's fire locked, and he used used a little glitch called flame storage to get it. 10 skulls is dead. All skulls are dead today. And Mr. Mario's jumping in the well.
Using the Song of Storms to unlock the well. Don't ask me how you play a song that makes it rain and the well drains of water. Yeah, I don't get that, but that's for the development team from 1996.
I thought it was 98, but yes.
Oh, one of those 90 numbers.
Late 90s. This game is slightly older than I am.
So Elgatua is gonna trek through the Lost Wood, pick up his Zelda's Lullaby. Let's see if he jumps further into the Forest Temple as Mr. Mario dives into the bottom of the well, gonna take out Dead
Indeed.
Man.
To note also, Elgatua has skipped his light arrows for the moment. He should hopefully go back to those sometime.
Oh yeah, those are gonna be important.
Yeah, they will. They do have Valero, at least that's not a horrible places to get back to.
Worst case scenario, absolute worst case. He gets his spiritual stones, gets his Ganon's boss key from his light arrow cutscene, and Ganondorf tells him it's on Death Mountain track.
Crater, you mean?
Or where, the crater. Yeah. Death Mountain somewhere.
Yeah. It does happen though, sometimes you just straight up skip a check and then you go to Ganondorf and he tells you that they're in Forest Temple or Death Mountain. You're like, wait, did I do that already? What the heck? Mr. Mario's second try getting the boomerang trick for this little coffin here in the well. Saving a bit of time. Unfortunately, just a bloopy as Elgatua gets CL.
Yeah, one of the most important and useful songs in the game. Not only unlocks a whole bunch of checks, but locks up some dungeons, some locations. So eventually, most likely, gonna need Zelda's Lullaby at some point.
In this case, today, we have a required Shadow Temple, so they will definitely need that ZL. 100%. And so far the well's looking to be pretty empty. As Elegatra goes into forest now, we'll see how far he decides to go. Mr. Mario did the first chest and left. Another bloopy for Mr. Mario. This well was looking very useless. Gotten 2 keys and nothing else in here so far.
Yeah, Elgato grabs that Deku Shield and is jumping in further. There's 4 more checks available to him right now. Looking for that French vanilla bow. That would be the ideal find, as Mr. Mario finds another sea bag.
That's as useless gets. I think we're technically supposed to track those things. For some reason, slingshots are separate from the bags on here, as are bows and quivers and bombs and bomb bags.
A very good fight so far from Mr. Mario. He does not get the final killing blow. Oh, yep, Dead Hand now trolling him. Doesn't stand a chance.
Nope. Yeah, I'm updating their trackers on slingshot percent. Oh, there's our last key as well. That slingshot has so far been the most notable thing there has been in here.
Yep. But given our other Sphere Zero slingshots, it's not gonna do us any good.
Not really, no.
Handful of checks, so it's not over yet for the bottom of the well. As is the Forest Temple. Elgato has a couple checks in here.
Okay, bomb chews are more useful than that slingshot. That was a 10-pack, so quite nice. But if the bomb chews are the most useful thing you got out of the well, then the well's really not worth the trip. Another bloopy. Yeah, this well's useless so far. And we're down to the last couple checks. Locked pits, like, and the basement, I think. We have seen all 3 keys, so these must all be checks. Or rather, the basement at least can't be a key today.
Yeah, we're gonna see all of the bottom of the well.
Heart piece.
Pizza, oops.
Yeah, he just missed. He just completely missed the side hop to avoid the pit and fell in. He wants to get that like chest.
Yeah, I think that was a dropped input or a finger slip off the Z targeting button. Very nice recoil strats from Elgato to get into the Floor Master room.
This is non-logic, I don't think, at the moment, but yeah. Alright, Forest Floor Master has the key!
Keys, and more keys. Where are the items that are necessary? Are they in Zor's River? Are they in Zor's Domain? Fire Temple? Child Goron City? Stay tuned here on SpeedGaming as we approach the hour mark of the second qualifier for the SpeedGaming Live Tournament later on in November.
Indeed, and alright, that was a completely useless well. There's one check left to keep this from being a bomb choose and slingshot. As far as the only remotely notable items in here. And I'm sorry, but when the 10-pack of choose is the most useful item in the well, that tells you it's dead. Another key on the forest map chest. And yep, the well is busted.
It's tempted to say don't
It's not
count your
technically
eggs,
foolish.
your chicken before the eggs hatch, but that well was a whole lot of nothing. Even though statistically, like you said, there were what, 14 checks available
13.
down there? So just a whole lot of density. But at this point, there's not a whole lot left.
No, it's fire.
And just one check down here in Forest Temple left for Elgatua without the bow. Or I guess he could go for Vanilla Bow if he really wants to. But he does not. He's gonna warp over to the crater. Let's see where this takes him.
Yeah, as we approach the hour mark now, we are down to Fire Temple, Zora's River / Zora's Domain, Child Goron City, and just some assorted other overworld checks. We're really running low on stuff to do in this seed.
Yeah, for anyone just joining us, we need the 3 spiritual stones to open up the Rainbow Bridge to Ganon's Castle, and our Ganon's Castle boss key is on our Light Arrow cutscene, which means we need the Spirit Medallion out of the Shadow Temple to go along with that Shadow Medallion we got out of Dodongo's Cavern.
Along with the Spirit Temple, Water Temple, and Forest Temple completion for our 3 spiritual stones. That was directed at those of you who watch Ocarina of Time Randomizer regularly. For those of you who are new to Ocarina of Time Randomizer, welcome in. This is Ocarina of Time Randomized, where we have all the items, all the songs, randomized, and their goal is to beat the game by doing the things that August listed off earlier. We don't normally feature Ocarina of Time Randomizer over here on SpeedGaming, but we do have it. We do have a SpeedGaming Live Ocarina of Time tournament. It's our second qualifier for that. Alright, Elgato is getting light arrows now.
As Mr. Mario heads into Zora's River. I'm suspecting we're either gonna find a bow here, might find the long shot. Otherwise, I am getting a Rudolph's letter convenience tingling sensation.
Indeed. Also, we haven't seen Adult Lake. That's on the list of things we can do.
Ooh, yeah.
Or at least there's 2 checks in Adult Lake, and then they with adult fishing in the lab roof at the moment. Alright, Lower River Heart Piece is exactly that, a heart piece.
And Elgato about to get bad news. Oh wait, no, that's not the Death Mountain Trail hint. Never mind. Still has not seen Death Mountain Trail Baron.
Nope, that one was in Metagoron.
Oh,
Frog's
yep,
one.
did not take the time.
Nope,
So
Frog's
he
one.
climbed up the summit, and that now looks like he is also going to head into the bottom of the well.
Which is unfortunately useless, as we see a heart piece on Frog's one that is equally useless.
And a whole bunch of money, not going to play any songs to the frogs for some rupees.
Nope.
On other settings such as shop sanity, various entrance randomizers, good thing to keep in the back of your head, the various places to farm up money, like here in Zora's River.
That is true, but not today. Alright, Lost Woods is still Way of the Hero. We know all our Way of the Hero, so I'm just kind of marking it down just for consistency's sake.
Anyone not in the know, that would be the Spirit Temple, Kakariko Village, Lost Woods, Sacred Forest Meadow, and Jabu Jabu.
Indeed. We do not know what Spirit Temple is Way of the Hero for. Kakariko Way of the Hero looks to be either Song of Time and or the Lens of Truth, neither of which they really want to be Way of the Hero, but there's nothing else there. So far. Actually, do we have any checks left in CAC?
Just Nocturne Shadow, which is dead, right? Which is
Yeah,
Faded
so
Light.
yeah, Song of Time or Lens. Zora's River is completely dead today as well for Mr. Mario. Heart Piece, a Recovery Heart, and a Purple Rupee. It looked like were the items in Zora's River. Collective loaded junk!
Yeah, but he is continuing on. A couple checks left in Zora's Domain. Oh, no, never mind.
Nope, just gonna go straight. No, Domain is Foolish is what I forgot to write about earlier.
Oh. That's...
Got that. That's how Rando be sometimes, Nemesis. Yeah, Zora's the Marine is foolish. Zora's River was foolish too, by the looks of it. The bottom of the well was basically foolish, even if the slingshot was technically foolish. That slingshot's the only that was of any remote note in there, although the bomb shoes were probably more useful, arguably. And even then, they have a bomb bag.
So where do you think our progression is?
Fire at this point.
I would tend to agree.
Wait, seriously? That's the most checked-in location left there is, really, at this point. I mean,
Fortunately, it's filled with all those keys.
yeah, unfortunately, but I mean, what else do they have? Child Goron City, Adult Lake,
Hyrule Field.
Hyrule Field, the slingshot target in Lost Woods.
They are running low on checks. It looks like
yeah, there's really not much.
These two anyway are kind of last locationing their progress.
Yeah, they
to
are.
happen here with Zooter Seeds. But
It
there
does.
are 5 other runners, so it'll be interesting to see going back how everyone routed through this mess.
Indeed. By the way, Elgato is not particularly happy at this fire-locked fire arrows. Thanks, Gabe. Thanks. Not. No, the early parts of Forest Temple were equally useless, so they're just at a net 0 right now. Mr. Mario going to get Skull Mask for, which I'm marking off, to go get his magic meter. Can't do anything with it right now, but might as well just get it. There's not really any better chance for him to get it at this point, so may as well.
Well, this is also interesting because it'll give him a chance to get his magic meter, but he'll also be able to check that target in the woods that you mentioned and go into Goron City, which is the other, the most convenient, dense place. 3 free checks that you can get there. Not going to be any small keys. We might get some junk like a heart piece, but that seems to be the best play at the moment.
Yeah, also I did realize we forgot to mark Song of Time earlier for Eligashua. Our tracker's actually not terribly... It's actually got a decent number of items on it. It's just, those items aren't exactly great, and admittedly it's kind of bloated by the fact that we have both Bomb Choose Bombs, Bomb Bag, Slingshot, and the Slingshot Bag on here, which takes up a lot of room.
Here we go. Way the Hero Lost Woods. Is it gonna be for the slingshot target? Nope.
Loopy. And alright, Eligatra is gonna waste 5 minutes doing a completely barren well.
So that being said, Lost Woods Way of the Hero is either gonna be the hook shot or the magic meter.
Yeah, no, magic cannot be Way of the Hero. It was hinted.
Oh, that's right. That is a one of the newer features for the hint distribution. I had forgotten.
Yeah, I think it was a change in 5.1? Question mark? 5.1 or 5.2, it's relatively recent, where hints can't overlap. Or at least, Way of the Heroes cannot overlap with sometimes hints. And the same goes for Foolishes, there's magic for Mario. I actually forgot to put it down in the item section of our notes sheet. Whoops. Sometimes I'll put them down in the hint section, but forget to stick it in the item section.
Just 3 checks left for Mario as a child. There's nothing here. We're gonna go back to that Temple of Time and pull that Master Sword.
And probably go Fire Temple, because it's that or Adult Lake are the main options, and I'm sorry, but Adult Lake is 2 checks, and those 2 checks suck.
Well, given that Mr. Mario has just recently come from the river, purchased some beans, went to the lake, and I believe he planted one of the beans outside the lab. So after this, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see him actually use that Serenade that we were joking about earlier, and get some use out of it. But here is our favorite dancing Goron. Unfortunately, we don't get to watch him dance.
Nope, no cutscene for us. And it is a bloopy. Thanks, game.
Alright, 2 more checks. As child.
Hot Rodder in the pot. Hot Rodder being the big rolling Goron in Goron City. Also known as just Hot Rodder for some reason. I don't know why.
In-game text, I think. You know,
That would explain it.
Speedrunners mash through.
Accidentally using a bomb chew, not that he really needs them. Just kind of
Actually,
ignoring
I
Alligator
believe-
for the moment.
I believe he used that bomb chew to stop the hot rodder from that
Oh, that's actually a
platform,
possibility.
that he's on.
Is that double magic on the pot?
Was that a second magic bottle? Uh-oh.
That's fantastic! And there's a bow! Hot
it's
Rodder.
the letter D. Alright, so there's
Yeah,
our progression.
That
our
is Hot
second magic
Madness
meter.
double magic. Alright, there's Alligator's last slingshot. And then there's Mr. Mario going back at it, and I presume he's off the forest temple. Let's
It's gonna
mark
be
down.
a bit of a trek.
It is Bolero and Walk is what he's gonna end up doing, marking off Bow and Quiver. Magic is at least not on here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he does not appear to have the time of day to be conveniently checking the treasure chest minigame, or is he? As the sun does appear to be setting. That might work
just
out
might.
perfectly.
Indeed. And I do remember he hasn't checked this chest yet, but Alligator did earlier, and it's, yep, more dead. A lot of checks have been pretty dead.
Yeah, more pizza.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries, take your time. Oh, we got you what? Just gonna be trekking through this barren bottom of the well. And Mr. Mario is indeed waiting out that clock. Gonna check this treasure chest minigame. Now, to note, you do not need the Lens of Truth to do this. You can get extremely lucky. Got a 1 out of 32 chance to guess correctly. One of the racers in the race is quite famous for checking this at least once without the lens. Proceed. That being said, if you have the lens, you might as well use it. Today, it is just a heart container.
Okay, convenient. I got back just in time to hear that that was dead.
Yeah. Unfortunately, nothing happening.
Nope, now that I'm surprised. And Alligator is not doing Child Goron City.
It looks like he might... Yeah, he is, he's out of here.
He is, which means likely fire for Alligator is my guess. Without that bow, he doesn't have much else to do.
Well, he did just recently turn in the Keaton mask, I believe, before going into the well, so he might be doing the skull mask now.
Well, that is fair. He might do that first. No,
might
Lens's...
route him into his double magic.
Lens's chess game is never logic. Because,
Yeah,
not
devs
mean.
aren't that cruel.
No,
just like
devs aren't mean enough for that.
Just like how the 100 Skulltula check isn't a thing. Yeah, they're not that mean.
Nope.
So Mr. Mario reunited with that Master Sword, now playing that Bolero of Fire. Is he going into the Fire
Go to
Temple?
Forest.
Probably not.
No, and this is Forest. This is just his fastest way there. Unfortunately, this No Minuet. Minuet being on Prelude. Prelude, what's it? Prelude Colossus. Prelude Colossus, or I am having a brain fart. What is our last song check that I'm forgetting right now?
Ice Cavern?
Prelude Colossus Ice Cavern. No, we saw Requiem wasn't there. All
Ocarina of
dungeons
Time.
is the other. Oh, Ocarina of Time is the third one, right? It is not all dungeons in this case. Brain fart. I'm so used to weekly settings where it's Medallion's Bridge that I forget that it's Burning Cat and not Ocarina of Time that's hinted.
Yeah, it's good to exercise that brain muscle every once in a while.
Indeed, we need to
Keep
mark
things
off
firing.
Skull Mask on Elegatro's tracker. I am not used to tracking that.
I'm just being bad at tracking. Sorry, chat.
We're multitasking, so. Speaking of, it would be appreciated if you guys wanted to help out with the tourney at all, or just get pinged for updates and whatnot. You can find more info here with that command. I just put in. Elegatro getting his first magic. Unbeknownst to him, it is not the only available magic, but they both got it anyway. I can't fault them. Coron's really not that appealing a check.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't really have any excuse to go there without the Skull Mask. Just so happens that they should have done it the other order.
I mean, by the time we get here, you would have picked up the Skull Mask anyway, so...
But, Mr. Mario is gonna be trekking through a little bit of the forest temple that we already saw Elegatua do earlier. So they're pretty neck and neck, depending on how quickly Elegatua can get back over to the forest temple. So really exciting race here.
Indeed, depends on when if Elegatua does river. If Elegatua skips river, it'll be pretty close. Otherwise, it might be still about the same.
I imagine seeing the bow will get his feet moving.
Likely, because they both... this is a late bow for them. They've had Bombag since... They've had Bombag very early, because it was in the Vector tree. They just haven't bothered to do bullet. They just haven't bothered to cut their own since until now. Which made sense, because at that time, Hot Rodder was the only check they could do here without, Zelda's Lullaby or Saria song, so...
It's also very, very likely that we're gonna get something, some type of progression here. Either the long shot to get across the Gerudo Valley Bridge, or Din's Fire to start going through the Shadow Temple, or even Gerudo's Letter to go into Jabu Jabu Way of the Hero. Shield
Elegatua is really not happy. He is not happy with that double magic.
There is his letter D, brought to you by the Hot Rodder Goron.
Yep, not even bothering to pick up the double magic, he's just gonna leave it behind, and this does look like a Zora's River play.
Yeah, you are right. They did not want to take that extra time to jump all the way down to the lower foreground to grab that double magic. And he's not going to escape Zora's River. So Mr. Mario is going to maintain that lead.
At least for the moment, though, to note that Mr. Mario will have to get to the Gerudo Valley for that Mirror Shield eventually. So that will give Elegatua back a minute or two whenever that happens.
Yeah, now, the later that happens, the more likely Mr. Mario is going to have hover boots or the long shot to just get that real quickly without having to time travel.
It is definitely, Gerudo Valley is infamous for being, it's technically Sphere Zero as a child. It's just really annoying to get to. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's difficult to route in. The way Elgato did it, doing so after Lala Ranch didn't save Orby to feel curious about the most efficient way you can do it. There's one of the more efficient ways to do it, but it's still just not a great check. Zora's Domain is foolish, Nemesis. There's no point.
Yep, like the way the hero hints indicates there's something guaranteed logically required to beat the game in that location. A foolish hint tells you there's nothing valuable in that location.
Indeed, alright. Fourth chest we haven't seen. Fourth double block push chest is just some more money for Mario.
Money, 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 money!
Yeah, they are rich. They don't really need any money. We've also seen both tunics, so they really don't need it. At least I think it was a Goron tunic on top of DC. Could have just as easily been a Deku Shield or something, though. And alright, Elgatra's going back adult. I expect he will follow Mr. Mario into Forest and be a minute or two behind, not too much. Since he's already done the courtyards.
Yep, but any time that Mr. Mario has in the Forest Temple will be time Elgato is going to be trying to play catch-up.
Yeah, but I'd ultimately say overall, with that Ballet Mirror Shield, they're pretty close at the moment.
That only time
Here's our last bomb bag. Thanks, game. Thanks. Bomb lock bomb bag.
Not the item we're looking for. Looking for a
Not
long shot,
yet.
hover boots, or Rudo's letter. Or Dinspire. Dinspire would be better than the hover boots.
And not. I mean, right now without hover. I think what now they would probably really like to find his Rudo's letter, August. They'll get their Way of the Hero Jabu, and they will also get their Ice Cavern, which will give them Requiem for their Way of the Hero Spirit.
Yep, that would be ideal. But this
really
is the
want
Ocarina of Time randomizer, so I don't expect the ideal.
No, the seed will be mean. The seed started by giving them a really awful medallion and stone layout for these settings.
Got a bunch of good items right away. They got a scale, 2 strength, bomb bag, hook shot, boomerang. But the bow was the trolley item that they left stranded in Goron City for too long.
I mean, just keep in mind though, about half the items listed off August were in Light Medallion Deku Tree. Which is by itself kind of blag in these settings. The Light Medallion, Forest Medallion, and the Forest, Fire, Water, and Light Medallions may not be required to complete the game to seed. But they started with the Fire Medallion, they have both collected the Light Medallion, and they're probably collecting the Forest Medallion as well today, so it's basically AD anyway, thank you. In the form of, hey, you need to do your non-required dungeons for anyway, so they're required, thank you. Love what I call oops AD for item seeds. Don't need the medallion or stone, but yeah, still need the items.
And there's no telling what is locked inside that fire temple. It's the one temple they are hoping they don't need to jump into.
Indeed, they really, really don't want to touch fire. Elgato playing Bolero is going to follow Mr. Mario into Forest.
Now, the big brain play for Elgato would be to jump into fire and find something great.
But
he's
that would
not gonna
make...
do that.
No, that makes no sense at all.
That sounds like the type of play from One Salty Sponge.
You still have Big Brain a 100% non-required fire temple.
Oh yeah, go for the thing that no one else is gonna do. The thing people are gonna put off till the last moment possible. And I gotta say, I kind of like that strat with a larger race. I know this is only 7 as opposed to some of the larger weeklies we've had, but as opposed to a 1v1 situation where you're really playing against an opponent, playing against a group of people is a little bit of different mentality. You see Mr. Mario a little bit past the halfway mark here in the forest temple as Elagatua is gonna jump in that side there.
Yep.
This will be our 3rd high five of the game. Almost 75 minutes in. 85 minutes in, rather. So Elagatua already having come in here in the courtyard circuit. Gonna go right over to, who is it, Amy the Red Po?
Yeah, Amy's the red po.
Red Po, blue Po, green Po, purple.
I know, everyone knows that purple is Meg. I believe Beth is green, and don't ask me between Amy and Joe who's red and who's blue.
They're just sandwiching the second floor of Stalfos, that's all I know. Mr. Mario is avoiding the sandwich himself, sandwiched by that checkerboard ceiling.
And just a heart container. Forest Temple is so far looking useless.
Yeah, surprisingly. If there's nothing in here, there's gotta be something in Adult Lake Hylia.
Or
Fire Temple or Hyrule Field.
Yeah, we're still in about the same spot we were earlier.
And because unfortunately, not a single one of the spiritual stones in and of themselves do anything useful. Need all 3 for that Ocarina of Time hint.
Must hear the song.
Or the song.
We're all
Have we seen a hint for that?
No, it's in sometimes in August with Stone Bridge.
Shucks.
Yeah, so Burning Cat, which requires the Forest Fire and Water medallions, along with the Ocarina of Time hint. The Green Pill puzzle is just put together the picture. It's always the same. How you do it varies, but they use usually a very typical pattern for it.
Yeah, the devs haven't gotten that crazy. Maybe after the decompiling project into C++ or C, whatever they're doing it.
Yeah. So yeah. There's still not much at the moment. Yeah. August. In Burden Cat and Ocarina of Time are only always hints if they are required for the Ganon's boss key or the bridge. So in typical weekly settings where we have all medallion, bridge, and no Ganon boss key, it is Ocarina of Time that isn't always hit and Burning Cat is sometimes hit. But in these settings where it is Stone Bridge and the Forest Fire and Water medallion, so no particular purpose, Burning Cactus they always hit, and OT the sometimes hit.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it does.
2 more checks in the Forest Temple. Push this room counterclockwise. Hit a couple switches. But it's not looking good.
No, the Forest Temple is looking as barren as the well. More barren, actually, considering the well at least had a slingshot. Well, I guess this had a context. They're about equally barren as of the moment. Third slingshot versus third bomb bag. Neither of them really. These runners really want either of those things. Alright, this chest is.
One of our
Is
Hey,
that
there it is.
Was that the letter or the
That-
regular bottle?
I could have sworn that was Rudo's letter.
That was letter, okay.
Yep, confirmed by chat.
Alright, that was finally something. That's actually really handy. I figured that had to show up soon.
Yeah,
With Requiem and Ice and a Way of the Hero Jabu.
yeah, it clearly gives them a direction. Unfortunately, it means time traveling, but a very clear and concise direction as to where to go next for their progression.
Indeed.
But get your guesses in chat. What spiritual stone does Phantom Ganon hold for us? The Kokiri Emerald, the Goron's Ruby, or Zora Sapphire?
You know, August, these
feeling-
settings were chosen specifically to be a little faster than our standard weekly since they usually require one less dungeon. I don't think it's any faster than the usual weekly settings today.
Yeah, and it was an attempt. Ideally, you know, you'd start with either the Shadow or Shadow Medallion.
Spirit Medallion.
Shadow or Spirit Medallion, or a stone. So you only have to do 4 dungeons. And ideally that would be like Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, and then maybe, I don't know, Fire Temple.
Water maybe or something. Alright, Phantom Ganon's a hurt piece. The only thing remotely useful in Forest Temple was Rudo's letter. On the other hand, it was Rudo's letter. Also, they not only have to complete 5 dungeons for the stones and Shadow and Spirit medallions, they even have to complete Deku Tree for the items, and they have to at least dip Forest Medallion Jabu for those items, so they're really doing most of the dungeons today. There's no skipping anything, apparently, for these luckless
Not
runners.
this year.
Nope, this is these settings' version of AD. Mostly. Not quite. Bird and Cack is dead, but this might as well be AD with how it's going.
Now, I can very easily imagine that one of our other 5 racers, remember there's 7 racers total, someone's gonna skip the bottom of the well. We saw that held absolutely nothing. It's certainly nobody's favorite place to jump into. So that's gonna save someone a whole bunch of time.
Yeah,
Hopefully they
if
can also
any
skip
of
this out
those-
on GTG.
If anyone skips out on it, that would be the biggest of brain plays. Save yourself like 5 minutes and a whole lot of nothing.
Mr.
Does the
Mario
well have a
Orbin
slingshot
back
com-
the lake.
Yep, this is a Jabu play.
You
You can also do the Zora's Fountain check. So, between the various... So, Jabu itself has 4 items. Zora's Fountain has 3 items. Has 2 items that has 2 items it can currently get. The Fairy Fountain and the Iceberg. They cannot currently get icy waters without iron boots. There probably no iron boots are in Jabu. And there's a decent chance of iron boots actually being in Jabu, you know?
Well, yeah, it's probably gonna be something for the Water Temple or the Shadow Temple.
Yeah. And then the Ice Cavern has 4 items, plus the song, which we know to be Requiem, to give them Way of the Hero Spirit. So this Bruno's letter is pretty big, and is actually gonna push us fairly close to go mode, I suspect. We're not missing a lot at this point, actually. We need Longshot and Irons for water, and we need Hovers for Shadow. That's about it.
Get that Din's fire. It's hiding out somewhere.
Oh, and the Din,
Fire
so...
entry is not allowed.
So yeah, we are Longshot, Irons, Hovers, Dins from No Mode.
Yeah.
And we have 2 unresolved Way of the Hero. We have 3 unresolved Way of the Heroes, actually. Also, we now know that Song of Time has to be Way of the Hero. Because the only 2 items in Way of the Hero Kakariko were Song of Time and the Lens. they do not need lens to cross the wasteland. Requiem is now available.
You do not know which of the other stones are in which two dungeons, either Water Temple or Spirit.
Indeed. Yeah, we actually know that Song of Time has to be waited here because the lens can't be. The lens game was dead, and we now have Requiem for Colossus access. Song of Time, Way of the Hero. Toilet, anyone?
I'm gonna guess that the Water Temple boss key is on the river chest.
Putting our ZSR toilet in chat. This is a particularly meaty name for the really awful check in Gerudo Training Grounds that is hard hookshot, Song of Time, and hookshot and Song of Time locked on the right side, which is a room, a pit full of water and clams and some other really nasty enemies. You need to collect a bunch of rupees to get it, silver rupees to get in, and you need a bunch more silver rupees to get the chest. It takes like 2 or 3 minutes, it's really slow, it's really annoying. No one likes it, it's called the float for a reason.
Made slightly less awful with that D-pad food swap.
Slightly, it still sucks. Well, I got you getting a little bit trolled by Phantom Cannon today.
Mr. Mario was really close to that pit. Back up there. But gets it as Elgatua takes out the ghost, doing some ghost busting.
Yep, getting a little trolled, but does get it.
Something strange in your neighborhood and Elgatua's nearby, just try giving him a call.
Maybe Mr. Mario, because I think Mr. Mario had actually had a better time with Phantom Cannon than Elgatua did.
But right now, Mr. Mario is playing Doctor. He's taking care of this this fish, this deity. He's found some nuts. That's not our way of the hero.
Not at all.
I mean,
What could be way of the hero in here is Longshot, Gold Scale, Longshot, Gold Scale, Din's Fire, or either pair of boots would be way of the hero in here. And it's unlikely to be Gold Scale, so it's likely a pair of boots or a Longshot or Din's. Well, that Harpies sure ain't way of the hero.
Not a Pizza Hut, so it's either in the vanilla boomerang chest or on Baronade himself.
Bad pun,
Continues to
Nemesis.
play catch up.
Yeah, bad pun, Nemesis. Bad pun.
Oh no, I think Nemesis needs to join us in the commentary booth next qualifier.
Hey, I mean, if you want to, go sign up in the Discord, which is over in this command. We'd certainly welcome more knowledgeable people to talk about OTR here, because there aren't many people OTR people here on SG, because we mostly do things over with CSR.
Knowledgeable or punny, one of those two.
We would prefer you at least have some knowledge of the game, and that's a bit more than just vanilla, preferably some random knowledge. Commentated one of the practice races with a guy who knew vanilla game but not randomizer. I like the guy, but his knowledge of randomizer.
Always fun to introduce someone to something exciting. But you should have been here for the last series of qualifiers. I kid you not, there was a participant who had not played a rando seed, not set up their stream, didn't even have an SRL account. And yeah. That was an experience.
Oh, I can imagine, wow.
Our own Lost the Pirate was behind the scenes trying to put out the fire as best she could.
Oh my god, I love Lost.
Speaking of love, Mr. Mario is carrying and escorting around this fish lady who absolutely adores him.
Yep. But yeah, the way the hero in Jabu is barely. We've seen everything else. There's the other Skullmask hint.
And Mr. Mario is all set up. He's about to fight the easiest mini-boss in the game. You might have struggled with this as a kid, but take a look if you haven't seen this before. Mr. Mario is about to give you a hands-on demonstration of exactly what to do on how to kill this guy very, very quickly.
Indeed.
Step 1, do not use your Kokiri sword. It's a trap.
They don't even have it, so that's not a particular problem. Step 2, roll into him. This makes him... And then jump slashes back. You may throw a nut to stun him as well, just to make that a bit easier, but that is the fastest 5-second octopus you'll ever get. Very nicely done, not that it's particularly hard.
And hopefully the boss fight will go just as smoothly for Mr. Mario. When done right, the Baronade fight is one of the prettiest boss fights in this game.
Indeed. Made much nicer by Deku Nuts, which are probably the most least used items in the vanilla playthrough, but are incredibly useful in Rando. Stun enemies, they do damage to Gaden's tail if you have no hammer or Bigoron sword. They're very consistent and have a tight hitbox, so they're the preferred method if you don't have hammer or BGS.
No.
It beats trying to hookshot his tail at any rate.
So, Mr. Mario having a little bit of trouble with that door, opting not to jump on the elevator or the platform to save a couple seconds, unfortunately losing those seconds by not getting that door on the first couple of tries.
Yeah, it only really saves you time if you get it the first try. It does get a trick for the boomerang. Switch there.
Yep.
And it's off to Baronade.
But that'll give Elgato a little bit of time to catch up here. He's not too far behind. And he still does have that mirror shield advantage. So it's gonna get interesting here in the second hour of this seed.
It will, as Mr. Mario is... Okay, first step of Baronade, get those tentacles. Second step, throw the boomerang, throw a nut for the jellies, and just pretty much rinse and repeat. Throw a boomerang, throw nuts, and also roll into Baronade to make him come out of the ground faster as well. Also jump slashes. Deku stick jump slashes do the same damage as the Master Sword, if I recall correctly, so they're... So long as you remember to bring enough sticks, because you really don't want to throw pots. You really, really don't.
And that is your last resort. Let's see what Baronade holds for us. Guaranteed to be something logically required for the seed.
It is the hover boots. Alright, now the problem is they have no dense fire for those hover boots right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the devs have not listened to my suggestion about baby butter boots.
So that is the forest going there for Mr. Mario. Time to go mark that off.
Yes.
I just did that.
Oh, thank you.
Please yell at us again, Chad, if we miss something, because we're doing double duty between us. Alright, Fountain Fairy for Mario.
Fairy Fountain before headed back adult. Let's see what this yields for us.
Indeed, I also just realized we forgot to mark off letter for Elgato. And just a bomb refill on the fountain.
Salute.
And wrong boots, so marking off hover boots for Mario. Not the iron boots, oops. Mario is now going back at him, and we'll see where he goes next, because he can't actually do anything with his hover boots right now.
Yeah, he's either gonna do the low-break checks or go into the ice cavern.
At this point, ice cavern probably, because that'll get him his Requiem for Way of the Hero Spirit.
Yeah, my other thought though is possibly he might be getting a bonus song here in the Temple of Time. If he
It is,
does, I could easily see him going over across the bridge to DPD.
There is that as well. Because, yeah, those hover boots are useless till we get to Inspire. The Inspire
Or
would
a
have
way
been
to
useless
cross
till
the
we got
bridge.
hover boots. Yeah,
Right.
or that. Alright, that is now Alligator onto Big Octo. Got their job pretty quickly here, not too far behind Mr. Mario. And
Yeah,
nope, man, you went.
Alligator has some very tight executions. I believe is at least one weekly in the bad.
Indeed. Wasn't quite
Very
top
impressive
32 in Season 3 of the main tournament, but I don't think is too far from it. Mr. Mario was in the top 32. I don't remember which seed off the top of my head, admittedly.
Yep, Mr. Mario, I believe, has been in the top 32 for at least 2 seeds. Or seasons, rather. He's also playing the Random League settings, as well as the co-op stuff. With Mr. Martin,
He got knocked
also
out
in
very...
this race.
Yeah, he got knocked out very early in the co-op tourneys bracket stage. Surprise upset, actually. Unfortunately lost to some unfortunate rounding choices. Just he basically got rando, is what happened.
Yep, as we saw in the race last night, Gavaroni and Dylan Meeble are co-op partners. Mr. Mario's co-op partner, Mr. Martin, also in this race. So it's always interesting to see. I remember from, I think it was Season 2 or Season 3, the post-race interview between Marco and Bonnaroo. They knew exactly where the other one was, like, the entire time.
Yeah.
And I imagine a lot of that has to do with the co-op and the multi-world that they've participated in.
Indeed.
Always useful to know where your opponents are at this point, or at least have a guess.
Indeed. Also,
Mario opting for the ice cavern.
yeah, makes sense. I mean, not much else you can do at this point with Mini-Wet being on Prelude. What else do you do with your time? Might as well get Requiem and go to Way of the Hero Spirit. I'd be a little surprised if he went anywhere else, to be honest, with how the seed's been.
You would just kind of feel bad, right? If you were able to peek something at the bottom of the lake here, and then you go to Lake Hylia and find iron boots.
That would be a little sad, but I can't believe it over going here instead of Adult Lake. Alright, can he peek the lake bed? I sure can't see it.
Saw a flash of something.
It is possible to peek that with a silver skill, or even with nothing, I think, on certain emulators, but I'm terrible at it.
You know, I can't see the thing in the bottom of Lake Hylia. I can't hardly see anything at the bottom of Source Mountain.
Well, you saw you caught a glimpse of what's here, I caught a glimpse of what's in the lake. I saw Jack spot in the bottom of the mountain beyond some money, which is always there. So... Or even, we can't see freestandings. Yeah, Vanilla Iron Beats would be pretty funny. Alligator getting hovers now. Let's mark those off.
As well as the Forest Medallion. So almost certainly gonna follow Mr. Mario to the Temple of Time.
Well then, 2 Ice Cavern is my guess, because what else would he do with your time at this point? It's a possibility, Calamity. I honestly couldn't see anything, so I have no idea what that was. Burning Cat is still Prelude. And keep in mind, we have a Song of Time Way of the Hero. I don't know what it is. There's not much it could be a Way of the Hero for. It's either GTG or... Water Temple River Chest. And some chews in the first chest of ice. I highly Choco's fire before ice, considering he knows ice has Requiem and Spirit's Way of the hero. Not to mention required. Fire is hopefully not required. What was that in the ice? I'm
gonna guess it's garbage.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. Oh, recovery problem. Okay, also we had an audio change. We need to turn that down. Wow, so that's loud. Turning that down a lot, because that's... give it a minute to update. Hopefully that's better. I might have turned it down too much.
Room Mr. Mario in here, when done 100% glitchless, is also one of my favorite rooms. Similar to the Baronade fight, just looks really, really pretty.
Yep. Okay. Okay. It was at 240, like Mr. Mario's audio. I have now turned it down to 217. Let us know what you think of it right now. I have to give the little bit update so chat can hear it before I try and click some more. Also, we did need to we both forgot to mark the minuet on the tracker.
Yeah, I think that happened right about the time of me switching the audio.
Alright, thank you. That's okay, now it sounds better apparently. Thanks, chat. Oh yeah, Elagacho never checked the river grotto, I don't think, so it's gonna do that now. I forgot about this.
Yeah, did he go down the river at all? I guess
he did do Frog's Blood and didn't bother with the chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Mario tried several times to glitchless jump and decided, yeah, screw it, I'm just ground jump instead.
And Generace is thinking about those racers behind him or in front of him. There's some stiff competition here.
Look, is there anything in the Iron Boots chest, or is the only thing of worth in here Requiem? It is a Bloopy! Okay, just Requiem. And I fully expect Mr. Mario is going to immediately play it. Yep. Yip-de-doo.
Yeah, nothing to it but to do it.
As Elagacho gets into Ice Cavern here, hopefully having a little trouble, but...
Yeah, now Spirit Temple has a whole lot of stuff. Hopefully we don't get key locked out of the adult side, needing a time travel. But otherwise, with those out-of-logic fire arrows, has most of this available to him. Unfortunately, still doesn't have that mirror shield.
No, and that Sapona song confirms that it is Sun Song on Ocarina of Time. They're not getting it. I'm fast.
Yeah, with Frog's 2 dead, just one check in the graveyard. So most likely aren't going to see that. Hopefully doesn't come into play.
Second chance at taking the item for Elagacho. Unfortunately, I can't see it any better than I could last time.
Nope. Just trust that if it's something good, they'll go back for it.
Yeah, hopefully they identified it correctly is the other thing. Because misidentifying freestanding items is oftentimes a problem.
Yep, definitely seen that before.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yes
good.
indeed.
We've got a small key. We don't necessarily need to go back to Child Spirit for keys. Might be something useful in one of those 2 checks, but otherwise, Mr. Mario's going to be in here for just a little bit. And Elgato is actually going to meet him in here, but he's going to be in a better position with that mirror shield. And probably going to take out the second spiritual stone before Mr. Mario.
Indeed. You know Spirit Temple is Way of the Hero. We don't know what it is. Oh, there's a boss key.
Not going to be for any keys.
I am also going to be tracking our key locations to see what Spirit's key logic looks like today. Mirror Shittles in Gerudo Valley Crate Calamity. Elgato did it in his early child routing. Mr. Mario has not. We'll see when he gets back there. It could take a while. Grand Masons, Zans, however you pronounce that, this is a qualifier race. These 2 are racing along with 5 other runners who are not being restreamed for a SpeedGaming Live Tournament qualifier for the Ocarina of Time Randomizer. They have the same randomizer seed. They are racing each other and the others in this race to see who finishes the game first and beats Ganon first. They are required to collect all 3 spiritual stones to open the Rainbow Bridge, and to collect both the Shadow and Spirit Medallions to collect the boss key to gain its power. In order to, and along with the Light Arrows, Bow, and Magic to go kill Ganon and beat the game. Are the settings for this particular randomizer and this journey, really.
Yep. And to note, these qualifiers are an optional part of the tournament that's happening November 7th through the 15th, I believe.
That is correct. 7th through 12th is
so
groups.
This is
the remainder is brackets, if I remember correctly.
Yep. So this is optional for the seeding of the group in the bracket stages. If you'd like to join them, happy to have you. The more the merrier. But if you'd just like to skip this and just join the tournament in November, you can do that too. And to note, that is a cash prize tournament. So these guys are looking for a payout.
Me putting in the commands in chat for more information. You can go check it out there.
I highly encourage you after the race. It is hype. We are almost at the 2-hour mark. Nothing so far in the Spirit Temple.
Ice has been busted other than Requiem Spirit so far, been a bust.
Looking for Din's Fire, the Long Shot, and Iron Boots, and or Gold Scale.
Indeed. We also have a Mystery Song of Time Way of the Hero for some item. So far, Spirit's busted for Mr. Mario. If he finds nothing here, I fully expect him to go to GTG next.
Yep, that would be the play to make.
And this place is looking to be pretty bust. There's been nothing here.
Handful more checks for Mario.
Sunblock Room is useless.
And there was a hint, right? It was the left-hand Colossus chest?
Correct.
Let's see if Mario does any safe skimming in this small key here.
With the left hand being hinted that I don't necessarily know if he needs to.
He is not. I'd be too worried that I need a small key in Child Spirit.
Oh no, he will be able to save the key going to the left hand, so I think it'll be okay. And just some arrows. Colossus Arch is useless, and Mr. Mario is out.
Nope,
That
he's
part,
going
and it's
back.
gonna go back in this way. And Elgato is gonna join him shortly, this time with a mirror shield.
Unfortunately,
At
Mr.
this
Mario
rate,
doesn't have Pharaoh's Wind. I imagine, might have used Pharaoh's Wind, I didn't build them. Otherwise, I think
Yeah,
this is the quickest way to get back.
I think
to the
so.
adult
Also,
side.
Mr. Mario only has three checks left in here. Invisible chests and the boss key chest.
Won't be able to get to the boss key chest if he doesn't find a small key here.
That is true. Also, Epona's song is technically was what put GTG into Logic, although both these runners could have chosen the first Wasteland anyway, so made no real difference to them.
Yeah, it'd probably be faster to reverse.
It would.
These runners very competent in the reverse wasteland strats. 2 checks here. One of them should be a small key.
Yep.
There it is. So that will get them upstairs. And there's another wallet.
It is not Way of the Hero. We have seen a Sora tunic, and it's definitely not King Zora no matter what we do. So that Way of the Hero and Spirit Temple remains a mystery. Also, there has to be a key on Child side because we've only seen 4 and 3, and that key on the invisible chest is 4 key locks.
So that is very useful at defusing.
So Child Spirit has to have our remaining key.
It also
And an item.
decreases the value of Child Spirit.
Unfortunately, the other check in Child Spirit is an item, and oh, that's a concern. Alright, this is Mr. Mario's final check in Spirit Temple. What is it? It is some arrows! Unfortunately for Mr. Mario, he cannot get the Way of a Hero right now in Spirit Temple. He is out of here. And for GTG.
Yep, if you're unfamiliar with what we were referring to earlier as Reverse Wasteland, take some notes. Mr. Mario is about to demonstrate it for you.
Indeed. Not in Logic, they have a bonus song anyway, so it doesn't really matter, it's just faster. Even if they didn't have a bonus, they could still do it, just because it's a bunch of really quick checks.
Looks like first gonna stop off at the Fairy Fountain.
It does appear to be so, but that does mean that there are... 4 places left for that Way of the Hero check thing in Spirit Temple. It cannot be that wallet. We have a Zora tunic. King Zora is dead, and besides we have access to Ice Cavern. That means it is that remaining item, that Way of the Hero item is on Child side. The chest by the Forearmos, the top of Spirit Temple, or Twin Rova. One of those 4 checks has the item that is Way of the Hero, and we're gonna find out from Elgato in the next few minutes. Since Elgato does have the mirror shield from the Gerudo Valley Crate.
He'll at least be able to check those 2 checks on the adult side, the Mirror Shield locked ones.
And Twin Rova as well.
They do have the boss key. The boss key was not child side. He can clear spirit.
Pick up spiritual stone at number 2 as Mr. Mario reverses the wasteland.
We also forgot to mark off the forest temple for him. Whoopsies! Just realized now. Some 20 minutes at least after he finished it. Whoopsies. We're being scatterbrained. Sorry about that, chat. It is now fixed.
Hopefully they've seen. If it really was driving anybody crazy, you should not be shy and join the Discord and ask for that tracker roll.
To help bail us out of doing things like commentary and track, because as Chick has just noted, we are not the best at it. It is difficult to commentate and track at the same time. We also need to mark a bonus song for them both. Oh, man it.
Sorry.
And Requiem, because, for Alligator, okay. I think that should be... we have a 20 hit that was dead, and 30, 40, and 50 are A, dead, and B, not on the track. I don't know why 30, 40, and 50 aren't on the tractor, but they're not.
So nothing yielded in the desert. Mr. Mario has to fight this Gerudo guard. Luckily, only has to rescue this one carpenter. One of the favorite settings on most is the rescue one guard, rescue one carpenter.
I did completely miss the chest by the 4 armors for Alligator. I assume it was probably
a small key. I think both child checks are items.
Oh, items. I might have just miscounted things then.
Well, no, I just don't think you were considering that the Armos check had a small key in it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot, probably. Also might have slightly miscounted things. Yeah, child size times 2. Yeah. That's probably just me screwing up counting somewhere.
Mr. Mario is in GTG here, taking on some Dynalpha. 2 small keys already.
John Flib Zeusa. Yeah, the other 3 carpenters are rescued already. This last carpenter just didn't get rescued for some reason. Alright, Song of Time Way of the Hero. It's either this or Water River Chest. What is it? Which I did forget to mention, Song of Time Way of the Hero makes this a very good play as well, just on top of everything else. Well, that would do it. Long shot would absolutely be Way of the Hero.
Yeah, good find for Mr. Mario, maintaining a little bit of that lead. He should be picking up his mirror after this in just a bit, especially after getting that long shot.
Hey, double defense, that is not Way of the Hero.
No,
time to mark that long shot and Kokiri sword.
But that gold scale, also a nice pickup here for Mr. Mario, and GG might not need those iron boots after all.
Indeed. But yeah, we'll want to mark off the Kokiri sword and long shot for him.
I'm on it.
And the Way of the Hero item in Spirit is either Child Life or Quinrova, because we've seen everything else for Alligator.
I I mean, at this point, it's got to be either Dinspire or Iron Boots. And if it's
It has
Iron
to be.
Boots, that's avoidable.
Maybe, hopefully. Although Elgato hasn't done Child Climb yet, so it's going to do that real fast. Looks like, maybe. Or just, oh no, this is...
Slightly different route through the Spirit Temple here.
Hi, Afterlife, it's being rude! We have an absolutely terrible medallion layout. Light Medallion Deku was required for 2 strings, a hookshot, and a bomb bag. 2 hookshots, maybe a scale, and definitely a bomb bag. We have Wave, this Forest Medallion Jabu has Wave the Hero and turned up Cover Boots on Baronade. And, for their real Fire Temple's not required at this point. Well was absolutely useless, Forest Temple was mostly useless, Ice Cavern was entirely useless, and, well, GTG here is being helpful for Mr. Mario, but he is missing his Mirror Shot out of the Gerudo Valley crate.
I imagine, though, with that long shot and hammer in hand, he'll trek over to the valley.
I would sincerely hope so. On his way to Water Temple, I assume, having picked up Long Shot into Gold Scale on the right side of GTG. I do love, though, that the 3 checks on the right side of GTG were all items. Kokiri's word Long Shot and Gold Scale. Thanks, game! It does start like a Star Seed indeed, Afterlife. August, if you don't know, I have a reputation for rolling absolutely terrible seeds. But no, this is a Synax seed, actually. Synax being one of the admins of being one of the admins or something of the SG Live. I'm not entirely sure what his role is, but one of the big wigs around who is the one who rolled this seed. He's the one to blame for this fairly terrible seed that does indeed sound a lot like one of mine.
Sinek is a wonderful gentleman. I got to meet him last year. A bit of the technical go-to guy.
Alright, Alligator Office Monroba as Mr. Mario finds the Hylian shield on the
Wrong shield.
ice statue. Yeah, wrong shield. Unfortunately, we know where the shield he wants is, and it's not here. And that's Nibiru Knuckle down for Alligator.
Alligator is about to fight one of the hardest bosses in the game. Certainly the trolliest.
Known as the Troll Robot often, because this boss really trolls.
And in the second phase, in the German translation, known as Sexy Thermo Hexy.
Yeah, I honestly can't say who's ahead. Alligator's been able to do all of Battle Spirit in one trip, but Mr. Mario has pretty much all of really most of GTG ahead at this point, but is missing his Mirror Shield, though hopefully should be picking that up soon, which would negate Alligatora's advantage on that front at least. Honestly, I can't say who's ahead at the moment.
Yeah, it's really interesting because this all stemmed from Alligatora's choice after Lon Lon Ranch to go into Gerudo Valley to find that Mirror Shield. Mr. Mario took that opportunity to go straight to Deku Tree, so he got into Dodongo's Cavern earlier, so he's kind of been at like that temple ahead pace, minus that Mirror Shield. So this is the point now, 2 hours 10, 2 hours 15 minutes in, where that's coming into play. Alligator is about to pick up his second Spiritual Stone, but Mr. Mario has gotten a whole bunch of items with that long shot and gold scale. Now going to spend his keys in the center maze here of GTG, hoping that he's going to find Dinspire, hoping that he can get through Water Temple with just that long shot and gold scale, and also hoping to find that Mirror Shield.
Indeed,
So
also
really exciting here.
he is in fact missing. He only had 5 keys going to maze. He's picked up 2 more on the first 2 checks. That's up to 7. I suspect there's a key on the toilet, which should be why Song of Time is way at the hero. Or that long shot.
I don't think so with that, Oh, that's right, because you can get to the right side of the maze. Never mind.
Hi, ZSR rating with a party of 86. Welcome in to Ocarina of Time Randomizer Speed Gaming for a change of pace. So, ZSR is where most of OTR race streams end up being held, so here we have the thing. They're actually rating from a Majora's Mask Randomizer race, I believe. Welcome in.
Slightly different from the weekly setting. Same rule set. But instead of gathering all of the medallions, 3 spiritual stones unlock the Rainbow Bridge, and Ganon's boss key is held captive by Princess Zelda in the Temple of Time, meaning you need the Shadow and Spiritual medallions for those. So Elagatua here picking up the 2nd spiritual stone. Still don't know which dungeons hold which, but Mr. Mario is
That's Dins on Twinrova! That's Dins on Twinrova!
Very good news for Elagatua. In the
second
driver's
magic.
seat.
Here's the funny thing, the magics were hinted on Skullmask and on, the Goron City Spinning Pot. Both of them got the one on Skullmask and then found this hot one about 2 minutes later and were not very happy. Elagatua was so mad he didn't even bother picking it up.
Yep, saved a handful of seconds doing that. Picking up the Kokiri Emerald out of the Spirit Temple means our Goron Ruby is held captive by Morpha.
Indeed. Hey, I wrote them down in the correct order on my note sheet. I took a complete and total guess and I got it right. Go figure. But yeah, alright, so Elagatua's gonna go into Shadow now. Mario does horseback archery. For reference, Mr. Mario is missing his mirror shoot off the Gerudo Valley crate, which is why he hasn't picked up his Dins yet. And Elagatua needs to go GTG, which I expect he will do after Shadow Temple with the Way Up the Hero Song of Time. And a missing long shot, and irons. We actually haven't.
Yeah, but one item that could still come into play and bite somebody in the butt are those iron boots. That gold skill
no,
is no
Afterlife.
guarantee.
These are not weekly settings exactly. These are weekly settings other than the win condition. Except for Gaiden BK and Lex, Vanilla, and Stonebridge. Yes, as VXR said. Otherwise, it is mostly weekly settings. Still all the same tricks. Still all the other stuff like a Curious Sword Shuffle. Most of the other stuff not shuffled. 1 Carpenter, 7 Chickens, 1 Poe, and so on and so forth. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. These are an optional qualifier segment for a tournament happening in November 7th through the 15th, a cash prize tournament hosted by SpeedGaming. Anyone and everyone is welcome to join. One caveat for the tournament is that I do believe streaming of some sort is required.
Complete with a face cam.
Yeah, not necessarily a face cam, but some sort of camera that tries to increase the integrity of the race, given that it is a tournament for a cash prize. The bare minimum being a cell phone, kind of capturing the environment that you're racing in, making sure there's not, a buddy taking notes for you or, watching other streams, things of that nature.
Absolutely.
But Mr. Mario is approaching that mirror shield and gonna jump into the water temple shortly afterwards. Gonna set up a Bombachu strat to peek this chest. Despite having a long shot and the hover boots, he could get it that way as well.
It is faster to do this if it's junk.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he has that set up on lock. So my only worry was that if it was took him a couple of tries.
Indeed. Here's a problem though. He blew up the box. Can he hoverboard across here?
He's actually... Oh. Okay, so he's gonna death warp. What I might have done is pick up that boulder, jump into that grotto. I think that would have reset the crate. I could be mistaken though.
I think so, but he isn't thinking
not
of that.
having great luck. Yeah. Thankfully, he doesn't have that double defense that Elgato got in the Spirit Temple.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'd be here for a little longer.
yeah, this feels bad. Yeah, I don't remember we've seen Greg. That has not been our focus. Okay, Mr. Mario, after
There he
wasting about
goes.
5 chews, finally gets the 10th number.
I hope I remember to mention that in the post race.
Yeah, well, there's Iron Boots. There's Iron
Hey.
Boots for Illic.
Huh.
Now, I hope he doesn't get faded into Water Temple and instead follows that way to hear
Yeah.
the song of time to GTG.
Yeah, those iron boots could prove problematic for Elgato here. We'll see here. It's getting really exciting here. 2 hours into this.
It is no mode for us, actually. For certain. And there's Miracle for Mario. Make sure to mark that.
Will do.
The, also Iron Boots for Elgato while I'm thinking about it.
Noted.
Yeah, so Fire Temple wasn't required, but apparently everything else in the game, every other dungeon in the game, was had it being done. Fire and Vault were skippable, nothing else was.
Probably a sub 90 if you could get access to the spoiler log maybe 15 or 20 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah, but nope, Percy's just being rude. Oh, and okay, Mr. Mario's just gonna go do Way of the Hero Spirit, which makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely can't fault him for this play at all.
But at this point, I think I would probably put Mr. Mario a little bit ahead. It's hard to say, because Elgato is a GTG, hasn't done GTG, but has finished Spirit and has, and is, is close to the halfway point of Shadow. Not quite, but getting closer. And hiya, Kazukichi Hananobe. I probably completely lost that name, I apologize.
Yeah, actually, thinking about it, I would give the edge to Elgato, and here's why. Mr. Mario is gonna finish the Spirit Temple, pick up Din's Fire. He's likely to go into Shadow Temple. Clear that out, right? There are more checks in there, looking for the Iron Boots, than to bank on being able to clear the Water Temple. So Elgato is going to come out of the Shadow Temple ahead of Mr. Mario. It all depends on where exactly he goes after that. If he makes his big grand play into GTG, I can see Elgato being the winner of these two.
It depends on what he decides to do with his Way of the Hero Song of Time. He doesn't know if it's River Chest or GTG. For all we know, it still could be River Chest for Bosky, but we know for certain it's for GTG. There's our last bow. Or second bow, actually. We haven't seen a third.
Yeah,
Our only bow so far. Our only other bow was on Hot Rodder, which these two runners knew last location. There's level defense from Mario. Someone I was asking in chat earlier about it. That's what it was.
Now, both these runners are speeding through these temples. Elgato already halfway through the Shadow Temple. Mario almost finished up the Spirit Temple. No more checks, just a couple of things to do inside. A little puzzling going on. number 2 incoming.
Hey, there's Feroz.
Like, 2 checks too late. It would have been really nice to get that in the crushing spike.
Yep.
Will be of a little bit of use inside the water temple.
Yeah, if he goes to G2G first. If he goes to water first, it's gonna be
Well, he could jump into water, boss, set it in there, and long shot moves right back.
That is true.
First wind is very underutilized in my opinion. Especially in a seed like this where you're getting it, you know, over 2 hours in.
Yeah.
Mario doing really well in this Twin Nova fight, almost at phase 2.
There's the Shadow Boss Key for Eligachua. The maze is required today. No Gobo Shadow. Not that it ever is. Or at least it's like me. I forgot there's still 1 check left in here. Okay, is game audio super loud again? Turning it down. Alright, went from 204 to 192, from 215 to 194. I hope that's improved. Give it a little bit for the system to respond.
And in time, Mario takes out Sexy Thermal Hexy. Eligachua is taking a boat ride. About to be joined by 2 secret admirers. Guessing Eligachua isn't in the market for skeletons, even though Halloween is approaching.
Mr. Mario, make sure you get that tins. Don't forget to pick it up.
Yeah, he's missing a way of the hero in there. Don't want to miss that one.
And alright, Chad, is the audio any better?
I'm guessing it was mainly because of the boss music during the Twin Nova fight.
Yeah, that is quite loud. Don't forget to mark the stone.
And the stone, that's right.
Okay, it's better that you thanks for letting us know. Yep, Din's on Spirit Boss. That's a funny one.
Surprisingly, though, Mr. Mario not going into Shadow. Straight into the water temple. He wants to know if those iron boots are required or not. Not the play I would have made, but I am here in the commentator booth, not in the race room.
Neat. Iron Boots are in Shadow Temple. We have seen the Zora tunic. It's on top of Dongo's Cavern. They just never bothered picking it up since Fire Temple is not required to beat the game, and they were probably hoping it's not required, period, which it isn't, as it turns out. Mr. Mario will not be able to use Feroz Wind strats in Slaughter due to not having on Shadow Temple.
And it's already halfway in there. So anyone unfamiliar with Ocarina of Time Randomizer, there is 1 check inside the water temple that Mr. Mario cannot get right now. That is the basement of the central pillar.
They do not need Fire Temple in these settings, Swab. Unlike our typical weekly settings, these settings have Ganon's boss key on the Vanilla Light Arrow cutscene, which requires the Shadow and Spirit medallions, which today are the DC and Shadow Temple. And then the Rainbow Bridge requires all 3 spiritual stones, which are Spirit Temple, Water Temple, and Forest Temple. So Fire Temple is not required in these settings today. We know where all the items they need to beat the game are. Fire Temple is not necessary.
might hold something nice like Big Goron Sword, but these runners are not gonna jump into the Fire Temple simply for the Big Goron Sword.
No, they are not. That is not worth it. It's not a ped settings, Chloe. It's this thing from that.
Yeah, this was in an effort to make the seeds not incredibly short, like a vanilla Rainbow Bridge setting, but not, you know, hopefully to reduce the potential of an all dungeon setting. At least like a hard all dungeons requirement.
Yeah, unfortunately that didn't quite pan out today. Yeah, they wound up having to do most of their dungeons anyway. Still on average not too bad. I think these two should be able to sub 3 this.
Hopefully.
Which isn't bad considering how the seed's been kinda trolling. Although these runners are of a skill level where they can sub 4 most seeds.
Oh yeah, unless there's some sort of sanity or entrance shenanigan.
I meant in weekly settings, August, not in any other kind of setting.
Yeah.
Weekly settings on average requiring 1 more dungeon. This happened to be a pretty trolly seed for these settings. But that's Bongo down for Elegadra. Please mark the medallion. I will also probably go start helping you out with this since there's not much news to be taken left at this point. And alright, Elegadra, let's see where he goes next. Oh, this is Water Temple.
Yep, not a bad play. Doesn't know, might find a French vanilla long shot.
That is true, as Mr. Mario finds just a heart piece in the boss key chest.
The checks are winding down for Mr. Mario. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed that it's not in that central pillar. But we'll stumble upon those iron boots sooner rather than later.
So I expect they will both find, I expect that Elegadra will absolutely go to GTG once he gets out of Water Temple. And Mr. Mario will go Shadow Temple. It's just a matter of how long it takes for them both. Because there really isn't much else for them to do, and I do wonder if the boss key is in the River Chest, because Song of Time is way the hero this seed. We know it has to be for the long shot, it could well also be for the Water Temple.
Part of the fun in watching or racing these seeds is finding out the answers to those questions.
Yep, Mr. Mario finding just the key on the central bow target as Elegadra starts in Water Temple, getting trolled by the wall of water, decides to just shoot the switch instead.
So Mr. Mario is skipping the dragon chest, going straight for Dark Link.
We'll do the dragon chest from there. It is tricky but possible to do without iron boots. But the longer Mr. Mario goes without the boss key, the better this is for Elegadra, because they're gonna have to full clear the Water Temple anyway, despite Elegadra not having long shot. Isn't gonna hurt him much, considering the boss key is just a pain in the rear to find anyway, so ultimately it doesn't really matter.
Yep, and also has Pharaoh's Wind, so he can get back here very, very quickly if he remembers to set it.
Indeed. And hi, SpeedGaming 4, rating with a party of 49. Welcome into a rarity on SpeedGaming. We have Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Qualifier number 2 for the SpeedGaming live tourney. We have Elegacho vs. Mr. Mario featured on Restream, along with 5 other runners off Restream. We are getting towards the later stage of this seed. Each runner is just missing one. Mr. Mario maybe in Go Mode, Elegacho needs to go to GTG, but both of them are pretty close. I'd say they're within probably half an hour or so of finishing.
Yep, 30 minutes to finishing would be a pretty solid estimate, in my opinion. They're also probably less than 10 minutes apart from each other.
I would expect so.
What Elegacho should be doing, if he was big braining, he'd go straight for the dragon chest, but he's not.
He is going to go for Dark Link. With Song of Time Wave here, like, this makes sense. And it's not for the river chest, because that's Harpies.
But that's good news for Elegacho, right? That should point him towards GTG.
Indeed, because he knows that Song of Time is Way of the Hero. It cannot be the lens. There was nothing else in CAC. It has to be for Song of Time, and the only thing Song of Time is locked left is GTG. We'll at least get the boss key first, though, which is either Central Pillar or here, and it's Central Pillar. Wah, 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 for Mr. Mario.
And hopefully he doesn't get confused by that slingshot that was also in Kakariko Village.
He shouldn't. He found the other one.
I know he shouldn't, but I mean, the game is confusing. It's been 2.5 hours. I don't know when the last time it was eaten. A million different variables that come into racing a rando race. Speaking of race, you should go and follow these racers. Because without them racing these races, we won't have these races
not that.
being
That
raced.
is definitely, that is not that.
Yeah, you can follow those guys too. I mean, Willard J. Bradley, in the name
I
of
can't spell.
Hitsuyan. I'm sure awesome Link to the Past racers, but twitch.tv/Elegatua and twitch.tv/Mr. Mario 7788.
Please follow the second link for Elegatua, because I couldn't spell the first one. Lampadive is dead, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a
great rando content.
The runner command is, I believe, left over from the ALTTP Link to the Past randomizer qualifier that took place just before this. And the commentary command is also out of date. Not that. Yeah, Carino, you need an update.
All very good, good racers and trackers to follow too.
And there is the commands for, there's also, if I guess if you want to follow me, I don't stream, and for myself in August.
Spread the love around, it never hurts.
No, it does not. Also, Mr. Mario is... where is he going?
He's going to the Tektite Grotto, ATZ's pet Tektite. Once upon a time, guarded something very valuable.
Just follow all of them. It's random, so it's just can be in any of those channels. Well, that's not how that works. Elegacho is going to find out that Song of Time is not Way of the Hero for here, which should have sent him to GTG, which will be his Go mode.
The Iron Boots are in the Shadow Temple, in the Spinning Blade Room. Mr. Mario should be headed that direction, but he's going back to Lake Alia.
Not yet. Carino, whatever you're trying to do, it's not working.
It's all good. Just follow everybody. Every single Twitch channel.
Bad bot. ZSR bad bot sends ZSR. I also can't type apparently. Bad bot. There we go.
Looks like Mario's setting up his Scarecrow song.
Looking for Shoot the Sun, I'd assume.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Because he does have long shots. He's close. I guess he just wants to do it while he's here. I don't know why either, but he's doing Shoot the
Yeah.
Sun.
He wants it.
You hoping Warrens are here so he doesn't have to come back, but no such luck. Eligatra is setting for roars and is gonna be off to GTG, knowing that Song of Time is Way of the Hero and it's not the rumor chest. It's gonna reverse Wasteland, I expect here. Yep, that is a reverse Wasteland play. For those who don't know, common misconception, you don't actually need to be a water temple to get Shoot the Sun. What you want to do is do what Mr. Mario is doing here. Well, you don't want to wait 2 minutes for a check when you know when your iron bits are in your progression dungeon of Shadow Temple, but anyway, that aside, is Shoot the Sun and then summon Scarecrow and Longshot him. That's how you get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sun Song is locked behind Morpha, so not gonna be beating Morpha.
No.
And that is not what Mr. Mario is looking for, so he's gonna reset.
True Love! Eligatra is missing a long shot in GTG, locked by Song of Time. He knows that, he's going there. Mr. Mario needs to go do Shadow Temple, beat the game anyway, and is going...
Yep.
Well, where the hell is he going? Mr. Mario, where the hell are you going?
Going back, child.
What the heck?
Maybe Child Spirit? It's Way of the Hero. But Eligatra firmly in the driver's seat between these two racers. To note, there are 7 others in this, or 5 others in the race, 7 racers total. Very exciting here in the later part of this match. Now, it'd be interesting to see if Eligatra, whether they go left or right inside the GTG.
I'd expect they go right, knowing that Song of Time is Way of the Hero, and there's not a heck of a ton there could be there. I thought Goron Tunic was top of DC, but I'm also terrible at freestanding because the stream quality's kind of terrible, so I can't tell you for sure. The bot is still terrible. CSR bad bot, CSR being where most OTR streams are held. Yes, in these settings, I still cannot type apparently. There we go. Yes, in these settings, all the stones are required to open the Rainbow Bridge, True Love. So it might well have been Shoot the Sun for Anthony. I honestly can't tell because, yeah, I wasn't looking at that, really.
Oh, Mr.
Yeah,
Mario
I'm just having
is doing chickens.
Yeah. I'm just failing at typing. Yeah, these are not our typical weekly settings, which is confusing. Mr. Mario is doing chickens, and I don't understand. Oh, as Eligatra gets caught by the Gerudo guard, ouch, failing to glitch into the torch. He isn't happy.
Well, Mr. Mario knows exactly where he's racing. He's racing on SpeedGaming. He knows a racer by the name of Kuiper Don't Care. He absolutely adores chickens. I say that because Kuiper Don't Care would really appreciate a clip of this very scene.
Eligatra is not in go mode. He needs a long shot to finish Water Temple. His long shot's here in Gerudo Trading Ground. We need to mark that Gerudo card while I'm at it.
Mr. Mario about to feel really bad. 240 in and doing chickens.
Mr. Mario needs some iron boots because the water boss key is in Central Pillar. And his iron boots are in Shadow Temple, to his misfortune.
He just needs to go to Shadow.
Yeah, we don't understand this child play.
Thankfully,
You have Shadow
it
Temple
looks
to do,
like,
it's progression. It's 12 items, what are you doing here?
Thankfully, Eligatra is going on to the right side of the Gerudo Training Ground.
I mean, I guess Kakariko's Way of the Hero? I mean, I guess Kak's Way of the Hero, but you know Song of Time is confirmed Way of the Hero. Case Mom. Yeah, no Kari. Kariokami being another runner. Yeah. Kariokami being another runner of OTR who is infamous for liking chicken. Perhaps it is that Song of Time Way of the Hero confusing him. I don't know, because by process of, just process of elimination, well, it has to be a key, and that's Song of Time Lock. That is why Song of Time is Way the Hero. It is for the key. It is for the key for long shot, since there's a key long shot Song of Time Locked, which means it cannot be. At any rate, right side of GTG maze requires all 9 keys or Song of Time because the logic assumes you're an idiot with key usage.
Yep, but that, more importantly, is the long shot for Elgato. Probably 12 to 15 minutes from finishing up this seed.
He is going to do the boss key chest loop first, which I can't blame him for.
Yeah, much quicker.
Saves him the time of doing water level shenanigans at least for the moment.
And now to note, you can get back here with the hover boots, but it is a bit tricky. And not in logic, if I remember correctly. Mr. Mario is exhausting his Way of the Hero hints. He got a Way of the Hero hint for Kakariko Village, got the Lens of Truth, which didn't yield him anything, and the Song of Time, which did yield him a long shot and a gold scale and a Kokiri sword. But apparently, Mr. Mario is really playing hard with the Way of the Hero hints.
Yeah, he is.
He's thinking he must have abandoned something as a child, finishing up the very last checks he can do as a child.
Unfortunately, we know he just needs a new progression. That's the sad thing.
He's gotta go into Shadow Temple.
Nice freeze frame.
Very nice. Oh, I guess the shield was like that because it burned off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, looks pretty silly though. There are some really funny freeze frames in OTR. Or just OT generally, but there are some really funny looking freeze frames. And alright, Elgato has done every other check in Water Temple and knows it has to be Central Pillar.
Process of elimination and deductive rain. Elgato knows what he needs to do.
Indeed, also... Okay, I'm gonna switch audio back to him now that he's ahead. We know he's definitely ahead of us. Please let us know if we accidentally deafen you, chat. And Mr. Mario is going back at the... Unfortunately, wasted about 7 minutes here doing child stuff. Oh, fun fact, so if you open the door with DINs and then raise the water level, the door stays open and the torch stays lit. It's a really funky glitch, but it works.
Don't ask questions.
OT is a well-coded game, and alright, Mr. Mario is now going to Shadow Temple. Unfortunately spent 8 minutes finding absolutely nothing. Just threw 8 minutes out the window.
Yep, a good 7 to 10 minutes behind Elgato at this point.
The thing is, Corrupts Lol, sorry, I can't read, he had all of Shadow Temple, which is required and has 12 items to do, and he chose to go to do child cleanup instead. I don't understand why. If we get him for an interview, I really want to know why he decided to do that. 12 items versus a bunch of random overworld checks that take a while? I would take the 12 items. And progression.
Well, one thing that could have happened was he could have been metagaming. He could have been like, alright, no one else is done. What could somebody have missed? And those 2 checks were way a hero. Granted, they did take a long time, but that at this point in the game, it might have been a metagame decision. Alligatua did not get the quick grab off Morpha. We'll classify Morpha as the second trolliest boss in the game. What's behind Sexy Thermohexy. And just like that, Morpha is down. Alligatua will be headed into Ganon's castle, finishing up the seed in another few minutes. And while Mr. Mario was first to the long shot, it looked like he was in a pretty good spot at that point. Missing the mirror shield early on like he did, and having to double dip into Spirit Temple definitely cost him some time. And then
As did about
triple dip, getting those child checks.
Yeah, as did about 8 minutes of just doing child checks that turned up absolutely nothing. Sorry, I haven't read Discord at all in the last couple of hours, so I'm catching up real quick.
Yeah, not much.
I'm a side tournament admin for OTR, so I need to make sure things haven't blown up in the last hour or two while I was commentating it.
Yeah, Alligatua just refilling like yes, doing a little save warp to the temple time. Quickest way back there to Ganon's castle. Mr. Mario has started up in the Shadow Temple. Should be picking up the iron boots in the next, not this room, but the one after this.
Yeah. And to note also that these runners are on the play, so Alligatua was done by now.
Probably lurking somewhere in the chat.
Hopefully we might be able to see if we can get them in for an interview, though the 20-minute delay makes that kind of wonky. And there's irons from Mr. Mario. Probably feels a little silly about those 8 minutes of child checks now.
So, with these settings, there are no trials required to climb the castle, so Alligatua immediately climbing up, taking on some giant alphas. Oh, with the whack.
Thank you, Corito saying that Fiesel is looking into why the bot's being stupid. I guess Fiesel being the main head of the SpeedGaming.
Not surprised that the bots behaved badly.
Indeed. Not surprised at all.
The dino's down for Alligatua. Mr. Mario taking out some keys. Pretty nice stealth post fight there for Alligatua. It's just a pair of iron knuckles now that stands between him and the dwarf. Not the quickest iron knuckle fight. What?
No, but those got it done.
Gets it done without losing any hearts. Not that that's a big concern for him at this point. 2 more staircases. See him equipping a hammer, a bottle, and his light arrows. All the tools necessary to kill Ganondorf and Ganon in the most efficient manner possible. Unfortunately, no big Goron sword.
Okay, who knows where. There's the Mr. Mario getting his lance, an extra bow. Yeah, I know Fiesel's kind of probably Speed Gaming's equivalent to Truz. Yeah.
There is Ganondorf, like the James Bond villain, letting Elgato know exactly where those light arrows were on Death Mountain Trail. Or no, in Death Mountain Crater. Stores up that jump slash. Light arrow shot. Up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One cycle. Very nice by Elgato.
Nicely done. Is now off again, should be finished pretty shortly, is going to nicely sub 3 this. Mr. Mario unfortunately will be missing the sub 3.
Yeah, about halfway through the Shadow Temple at this point.
Well, that was another probably 5 or 7 minutes. Has to do Water Temple, which is a few more minutes, then go do Ganon's Castle, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Finishing.
but here it is, 2 hours and 55 minutes in Speed Gaming. Here's Ganon. Unfortunately, there's the Master Sword trapped right next to Princess Zelda, standing helplessly behind a wall of magical fire.
Thing is, we have a hammer and some power to crouch stabs. This is gonna be pretty good.
Right before the cutscene, Elgato made sure to do a jump slash, storing the Master Sword damage, making this phase much quicker. As the magic barrier has been dispelled, Elgato reunited with his Master Sword. On to phase 2.
That's 1 hit, that's 2. That's 3. And 4. And there's a last hit, and that is Ganon down for Elgato. They'll be finishing up here shortly.
Princess Zelda finally lending a hand. Briefly stunning the pig, imbuing the Master Sword with a magical essence. Elgato is a slice, a dice away from serving us all up a tasty treat of bacon. Who's hungry? Get your GGs in chat for Elgato. Second
Finishing.
place.
256.51. Koa finishing for 256.08.
One Kola Osu, very tough competitor. Was it 42, 43 seconds ahead of Elgato? That is not
43.
much time at all. That
No,
is just
Elgato?
a couple of execution mistakes.
Yeah, GG's Elgato in chat. Corrido, can you see about sending Elgato an invite link for the interview?
That
Mr. Mario
should
is
happen
now
in a
going on
moment.
a boat ride.
Yeah, he's also not going to be too thrilled with his secret admirers.
Not really. We'll see if he chooses to fight them directly or just let them commit suicide.
Yeah, that is the pacifist route. Although I'm sure a Quaker or two would disagree. You stand there at the back of the boat, and the Stalfos get the hint. No tunnel of love ride. Not interested.
Okay, right, that's how it works, Corrido. I forget, because, yeah. Makes sense.
Yep, Elgato should be joining us in a moment if they so desire.
I
What
do
a great
believe
race.
so. Getting some just currently getting some headphones in, and we'll be here shortly.
Speaking of shortly, Mr. Mario will be finishing up shortly themselves.
And hello, Alligatua
joined by
joining us.
Alligatua.
GG's.
Hey there, this was a fun one. I think I played pretty well, showcased my skills pretty well, although it was kind of a seed with no decisions, so...
After that,
Not
though,
really.
yeah.
Not really.
So, Cola ended up sniping me by like 40 seconds, and from what I heard, I was 1 minute behind him entering Forest Temple, and we finished 50 seconds apart, or we finished 40 seconds apart. So we were 1 minute like apart, about an hour and a half into the seed, and we ended at the exact same place. So it's just one of those seeds where there's only one thing to do in every situation.
Pretty much, you do Deku, you do DC, you your last location, you're about on Hot Rodder, you do Forest, you do Spirit. Hopefully pick up Mirror Shield before Forest, before Spirit you did. Unfortunately, Mr. Mario did not pick that up after GTG. Yeah, you do Spirit, you do GTG, you do Shadow, you do Water, and then you go begin.
Oh yeah, I knew I was gonna have a good time when I found that Mirror Shield, because I feel like more than any other runner, I'm the person who's known for doing GV after Lon. Used to be the meta thing for a while, and now it's not the meta, but it's my meta. So I was really excited to see that, and then Spirit showed up like way of the hero, so I was really feeling good about that. And everything was great until the bow just decided to be in like the worst location possible.
Oh my god, that bow. Gerudo Valley trolled in the EU Weekly earlier today, which I also commentated, so this is bringing meta flashbacks. At least Mason was way of the hero this seed.
Yeah, that play after Lon Lon Ranch was the first big divergence, and it really paid off between you and Mr. Mario here. He didn't get that until going into Spirit, checking that out, not able to do any of the Mirror Shield checks. Reversed the GTG, he got the long shot a bit quicker than you. But his...
Full cleared GTG, though.
Yeah, his clear of GTG... and then having to go back to Spirit definitely cost him enough time for the difference here.
Yeah, also Alligatua, he found a gold scale in the very next check after your long shot, and then proceeded to go Water Temple, which, yeah, you know how that went.
You know, Rush Donjon forehead, I think is the appropriate response. Get your Iron Boots in Shadow.
Question from chat. What is the objective to win on Ocarina of Time Randomizer? Beat Ganon, which requires being able to get to Ganon's castle, get Ganon's Tower boss key, and get light arrows, a bow, and magic. For these settings, it is required to get all 3 spiritual stones to open the Rainbow Bridge, and to get the Shadow and Spirit medallions to get Ganon's Tower boss key. So you need to collect the items to beat those 5 dungeons, and then you need to find light arrows and magic. And a bow.
Speaking of Spirit Medallion, that is exactly what Mr. Mario got. He's just gotta take out Morpha, and he'll be done.
It will.
Did Mario ever find the 3rd Baron? Because I kept searching for it and I could not find it. And I went back like 5 minutes ago and checked all the bad hint stones, and I still couldn't find it. So I actually have no idea like what hint stones I've missed, or maybe I just like misread it.
You missed. Did you check Metagoron?
That's the only one I didn't check.
Death Mountain Trail.
Aha, okay.
Gave me a bit of a laugh, because it's like, yeah, gee, thanks. Right? I was there already.
Well, it was funnier because Mr. Mario did Goron City, right? He did the maze and stopped Link the Goron, went through the crater, and then came back inside before going to the Lost Woods. And then he checked the Metagoron hint and sees that Death Mountain Trail's barren with only the Summit Fairy left. So that was why that was a little funnier.
Yeah.
Placement.
I wonder where the dupe for that one was, because I checked every stone in the game, but must have been the only 2 that I forgot. So, but it ended up not really mattering. It's funny though, because I was laughing about the Ganon's Castle Baron, because I have this thing where if Ganon's Castle is barren, I always think it's like some super horrific logic seed. But then I realized in these settings it's actually useful information, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah, well, as it turns out, you weren't getting to Gans Castle anytime fast anyway, because this medallion layout was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I was joking. I put I think I wrote in the chat halfway through, like, is this boss rush? Because all the progression items just happen to be on bosses. Like, you're gonna stick the freaking covers on Baronade and Dints on Roba after I clear all of Spirit Temple with my logically impossible to get fire arrows from the composer grave. It's like,
Oh
I
my
worked so
god.
hard for this.
That was hilarious. Uh, nice game was basically my response to that. Fire arrows. Mr. Mario was actually a couple minutes ahead of you in Adult Spirit and everything. Like, he got into Spirit as you entered, as you got out of Jabu, pretty much.
Yeah, like I said that.
No, you went to, oh, no, he got into Spirit as you went to Ice Cavern. Sorry, got my time frame slightly wonky. But he had no Pure Shield was his bigger problem. And the other thing is, after he found himself iron boots required in water, he, about the 2-hour 40 mark, he, for unknown reasons, decided to go child, and a bunch of child checks for 8 minutes instead.
I think
Overgoing
it's
Shadow Temple, which might have been Way of the Hero Confusion, or I'm not entirely sure, but that cost him an extra 8 minutes instead of going to Shadow Temple, which, as you know, had his iron boots, just as go mode.
so I'm gonna tell you what he probably was thinking. He's probably trying to metagame and thinking,
Yep.
if irons are just on the way in Shadow, then someone's gonna have finished already. But the reality was pretty much there wasn't that many places to get lost. To
No,
see.
really.
The only place you could really waste a whole ton of time is if you went to Fire Temple, which I think would be a pretty crazy play. And I imagine the people, like, probably nobody did that. So, really the only thing you could lose time in is GTG, because everybody's going to get that bow really, really late after clearing the whole sea. There's just no way around it.
Yeah, no, but including the well, which is hilariously dead.
I can't believe, like, there's no bow Way of the Hero, but I gotta imagine there's, like, another one in Fire or something that's keeping it from being hinted.
Probably, because your Way of the Heroes are kind of silly. We saw all 5. We had Spirit Temple for Dins, Kakariko was for Song of Time, Lost Woods was for a hookshot, SFM was for Nocturne and Sarias, I think. Nocturne for sure, maybe Sarias, I don't honestly remember. Nocturne and ZL, sorry, I apparently broke the notes that wrong. Nocturne and ZL and SFM, and then Jabu for covers for your Wade Heroes. Which did remind me, yeah, that we knew after a while, having seen the letter and whatnot, that it had to be Song of Time Way of the Hero in Cat, because there was nothing else there besides the lens and Song of Time. And, well, Song of Time, it wasn't River Chest. It had to be GTG. There was a key on foot.
Yeah,
He knew exactly where to go after the water temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a tough break, because I think the correct play in my situation there is always to go Water Temple first. You need to rush River Chest. For one, you might find the boss key on the way to getting the 2 keys to do River Chest, and in that case you know that there's no boss key in the river, so you can just go GTG immediately.
Yeah.
But then I managed to clear all the way to River, and I still hadn't found my boss key, and then the boss key wasn't there either, so it was just kind of obnoxious that I ended up having to full clear it anyway. But at least it saved me from having to clean up a few checks along the way. Like, I could skip Wasteland, and I skipped the Colossus Ferry, and I skipped Fortress Roof. So I knew that all those were completely dead as soon as River was empty.
Yeah, Mario did all of those. They were all various degrees of dead. Like, I don't even remember. I didn't even bother writing them. Not a slingshot, not a bomb bag, not a...
Yeah, but in that situation, like, you always... I really do think you should always go water, even though it's, like, statistically likelier to be in GTG over Water Temple. Like, the knowledge of, okay, the boss key is in River Chest, so I actually can't skip any of the cleanup checks, versus River's dead, so it Hookshot literally has to be Song of Time locked, and there's like a handful of checks where it could end up being, basically.
Right.
It kind of makes up the time that you spend doing extra checks in water, and you got to find that water boss key anyway. So
Oh yeah.
I think it's always safer to do water in that situation.
No, yeah, it made sense for you. It was actually a little unfortunate that Mr. Mario full cleared GTG. Full clearing GTG, spending 8 minutes on child checks, and it just double dip. He actually did child spirit in those 8 minutes, among other things. Check-ins, a couple other odds and ends.
Yeah, I caught that because I had the delay, so I was just kind of chilling out. I don't know, I'm a little salty that it was like 40 seconds between me and Cola, because I had some really weird BS happen to me that accounted for like all of that time. I got mega trolled by Roba this seed. Like, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I wasn't even doing like mistakes or anything. It was just absolutely not cooperating. And then the Gerudo guard caught me. And it's not like I messed up the setup. She was just like, okay, I'm not gonna come hang out behind the torch this time. So, it's like, when you have those little things, it's like really easy to put together 40 seconds of time loss.
Apparently, Cola also had a really bad robot.
I think I missed like 3 or 4 shots. Like, it was... He fell off the platform. Alright, well, that at least is controllable. I was just getting bodied by the orange. I was losing my mind.
Yeah, you got
Mario getting
trolled.
bodied by the Iron Knuckles. That was another fight that
You got trolled by.
wasn't optimal.
Well, I just kept bonking off him. It's not that bad. It's like, maybe I lost about 5 seconds or so. But as long as you don't get knocked back, it's not that big a deal. Or if you miss like the roll, and then you don't knock the armor off in time, like that's when it gets really ugly.
Yeah, still wasn't too bad for you.
But 40 seconds is a crazy close game. We had both of you guys on the restream. But it hopefully is a sign of great things to come for the rest of these qualifiers in the tournament.
Yeah, hopefully we get a little more seeds with Divergence, because I literally think Cole and I did the exact same thing for the last about hour and a half of the seed.
Yeah.
There really just wasn't any risks that you could take. It was just do your progression as fast as you can.
I mean, even the difference between you and Mr. Mario wasn't that big. Because he didn't go to Gerudo Valley, he was kind of like a tempo ahead of you. So like he did before you, and then you kind of did DC. But it was that Spirit Temple where you clearly took the lead, where you were able to do that, get your second Spiritual Stone. So because even though slightly different vantage points, like you said, you really had to go in a certain direction.
Yeah, with qualifiers, I think it's good to play the way that I did. I basically played as safe as possible. I didn't leave a single child check behind. I did some like creative time of day routing to sneak in treasure chest game and Dape digging before going back adult. That was pretty cool actually. I was really proud of that routing because I had to like plan pretty far ahead to make that work.
And Mr. Mario also routed that in pretty well. I was thinking he took the owl. I was like, it would be really good if he could get in here at night. I don't know if he has time, but then he had forgotten the Boulder of Destiny over there. And as he was going to there, I saw the sun setting. I was like, oh, that's actually working out perfectly.
Yeah,
so both of you guys did those checks really nice. Well, here is Ganon for Mr. Mario, serving of bacon number 2 incoming.
Also, it is now past midnight for those of us on the US East Coast. And hey, the bot's finally working!
Right in time. Phase number 2 of Ganon, the final boss. But going forward, Elagatua, any thoughts for the qualifiers? Any thoughts on the settings, things like that?
Well, I think the settings this time kind of forced you to play almost the same way that the regular setting works because Fahrenheit things. So it didn't really make things any faster. Oh, here I go. I'm starting to find the things that I couldn't find on the screen.
Okay, we maybe should pause it.
Yeah. But I mean, I like the settings. I'm interested to see what they come with for season 4. I know they've been asking for feedback on that, so that'll be something that I think we're all looking forward to. But I think it's fun to experiment with new settings, and maybe one of these qualifiers will have like some progression in the Ganon's castle that shows up and throws people for a loop. So that'll be pretty exciting if it's happening. But other than that, expect a lot of second and third places from me. I don't play aggressive enough to win usually against a pool of players this good.
I disagree.
Well, I mean, if the seed needs to be really bad, I tend to over clear, and I try to not I try not to clear any extra dungeons at the expense of being really aggressive. So I try not to basically lose by 30 minutes. I'd rather lose by like 5 or 10 than get like really lucky and crank out like a 2-minute win or something like that. So things will change when we hit the main tournament and it's 1 versus 1, and I can go a little bit nuts. But for now, it's going to be restrained Alagatua, play insane, making smart decisions, and then we'll see what happens later.
Yep. All right.
Very
By the way,
nice. Looking
GG's
forward to
Mr.
it.
Mario finishing 5th place overall, 3:14.05. So now in the interview room, we should go type him up. Between you and Mario, we had Gavaroni in 3rd with a time of 1:39.31, and Mr. Martin with 3:13.35. And so I guess it's not much of a spoiler with the delay at this point. Ninban finishing in 6th with a time of 3:26.52. Hey, Mr. Mario joining us. GG's.
Hello, GG's. I did some very questionable plays, I know, but I thought my logic was right, and I was completely wrong.
Was it metagaming or is it logic? Was it metagaming or was it logic?
No, it was just logic. So I had the Cackway the hero right, and
Yes.
that was either for Song of Time or Lens, because nothing else was there. It wasn't for Lens, because Treasure Chest minigame was dead. So I was like, okay, it's Song of Time. I did Water, nothing in River Chest. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. Because GTG, like, there was no keys on the right side of the maze, so how could Song of Time be Way the hero?
Toilet is your answer, but yeah.
But yeah, I kind of forgot Toilet itself requires Song of Time. So I was thinking the whole time that Longshot or Golden Scale locked Iron Boot somehow. That's why I went to all of those checks.
Okay, that explains a lot. We were wondering why you just decided to randomly waste 8 minutes on it.
Yeah.
I mean, metagaming would have been another good excuse too, because at that point it's like, all right, no one's finished. What the heck is hanging everybody up? And chickens, it could have been chickens.
Yeah.
It could have been chickens.
I thought I was in a pretty good position too with
at that
the
long
items
shot
that I found. Yeah, long
You
shot.
were.
And then I just stayed in GTG. I don't know. I had a good feeling about GTG.
One thing I was noticing, right? Because to grab the mirror shield, you had to destroy the crate, and then you had to kill yourself.
Yep.
I was wondering if you had picked up that boulder and gone into the Octorok grotto, would that have respawned the crate?
It probably would have.
Okay.
Yeah, we were wondering why you spent like
100%
wasted.
sure.
We were wondering how you wasted 5 chews in like 30 seconds on Chloe.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the one solution. I was not using my brain for that one.
I think that was obvious.
Over 2.5
sorry.
hours in. It's understandable.
It did feel a little bad seeing you spend 30 seconds or if it hit plus 5 chews blowing yourself up when you had a grotto right there. Shout out to 2 strengths and a skill being in Light Medallion Deku Tree the Seed. And a bomb bag.
Deku was stacked.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I couldn't believe it. I just like kept finding items, and at that point I had already found Mirror Shield, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to do Spirit Temple at 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking back. I was looking back at all the VODs, and I was ahead of Cola going into Jabu, but he had Mirror Shield and I didn't. So I think the Mirror Shield was really the main thing that put me behind, because if I had Mirror Shield going into Spirit Temple, then I just would have full cleared it on the first time, and then got Dins, go Shadow, go Water, beat the game.
Yeah, instead of doing all the other odds and ends stuff you wound up doing.
Right.
'Cause there was a lot of odds and ends stuff that you wound up doing.
Yeah,
Well, to
but
be fair,
through the
long
majority of the
shot,
restream, you were definitely ahead.
Absolutely.
And like you said, if you had that mirror shield, it would have turned out differently.
It
Right.
would
Well,
have.
Elgatua got sniped by Cola, and you got sniped a little bit by your co-op partner, Mr. Martin.
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that was kind of funny.
I blame that one on the Ganon fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At least he didn't get trolled as much by Trollrova. Both
Oh,
Kola
no.
and Elgatua got trolled.
Yeah, I got a double. Like, I got opposite trolled.
I think I missed like 3 or 4 shots. It was
Yeah.
my
it was
God.
very frustrating, and it was just RNG. It wasn't like me messing up stuff.
It was just RNG being really, really rude. Apparently, Kola didn't have any better of a time.
Yeah.
My goodness, that was certainly a seat, though. Kind of these settings version of AD, what with Light Medallion, Deku, and Forest Medallion, Jabu being required. Thanks, game.
Yeah. At least fire wasn't required. I was going to fire after shadow, so thankfully irons were just right there.
Yeah, we never saw fire. It's pretty much got nothing.
Yeah, I highly doubted anyone is going into fire this seed.
Well, I could see you going there instead of going to Hot Rounder for that bow. I mean, I like the hour mark. It was Fire Temple or various odds and ends overworld checks, and it was odds and ends overworld checks. Hot Rounder to be particular that had your progression.
Oh yeah, right.
Thanks, game. Nice spot for the bow.
Also, what was with that double magic? I get the single magic on Skull Mask, and then double magic right after on the.
I was so mad.
My God.
Elgatua here was so bad he didn't even pick up the double magic.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's on the floor. I might as well get it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is
man.
cool. There could have easily been a bow in the Fire Temple, and no one went. Neither of you went there, though.
Yeah.
That was funny. Of course, the fire locked fire arrows is funny too.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was real funny. I like that one.
I just straight up burst out laughing on comms.
And then it ended up being useful too, because you could check the firelock checks in Way of the Hero Spirit to get nothing but wasted time.
Well, no, you
That
get
was good.
information. You get information that Din's Fire can actually be in spirit.
That's true. And then
it was.
yeah, and then it was, and you had to do it anyway. So
Yep,
that didn't stop
thanks.
me from clearing the entire temple, other than Child, before I went to Rova.
At least he didn't clear
Oh, man.
Child. Mario here at his 8 minutes of time wasting did
Yeah,
Child
after-
Spirit.
After my logic mishap, I was like, okay, I'm losing anyways. Might as well just go to Child Spirit. Get the one
Yeah.
check there.
Yeah, that felt kind of bad, knowing that you were wasting even more time not going to Shadow Temple. Although, oh yeah, figures you screwed up logic with Saga Time.
Oh,
But
well.
going forward, Mr. Mario, what are you thinking of the tournament here, the settings and all that stuff?
I mean, I like the settings. I want to see Ganon's Castle more often, though. And I feel like it can happen since, Ganon's Castle and the boss key are kind of separate.
Yeah,
You
just
see
turned
some
out.
pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, it just turned out that this seed's medallion layout sucked for these settings.
Don't they all?
And then of course, Ganon's Castle is also hidden foolish on top of that. Not that you were going to Ganon's
Yeah.
Castle anytime fast anyway.
No.
No, for that item and medallion layout you weren't. Like, we're literally on our restream trackers, the only medallion or still we don't have marked as fire temples.
Yeah.
We actually nearly have tracker percent period, other than Sun Song, the Goron Tunic, and that medallion.
I think if Spirit Temple ended up being key locked, I was thinking about doing Fire Temple to see if boss key was like right there, so I could do an ironic prelude play just because of all the jumping between child and adult with no prelude. Ugh.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to that
got serenade.
completely barren well. Shout out to that completely barren well. Got a
Oh, yeah.
slingshot, that was it.
And this is the second seed in a row I've had Way of the Hero literally for just the song and nothing else. This time Song of Time and yesterday the weekly had just ZL. Thanks a lot.
Song of Time is useful. See, at least for Way of the Hero. CL Way of the Hero, eye rolls. Yeah. Cactus Way of the Hero, CL's Way of the Hero, water is wet. What's new?
And I did this different route to rush 10 skulls so I could turn it in after DC, and then it's just all a waste of time.
Yep, you do. 10 skulls were completely dead this seed.
Yeah, that was nice getting the 20 hint too. So just you're done after 10.
Mm-hmm. I found the GTG right side maze actually pretty silly, so Elegatra got the long shot and bailed, but your gold scale is in the next chest and Kokiri's was on the third.
And then you
wow.
still need iron boots. Like, what a jerk.
Yeah. Man,
was...
I'm surprised you bailed.
No, it was
No,
his
it
go
was
mode.
go mode.
It was his go
Oh, that
mode,
was his
Mr.
go mode. Oh, right, because they did Shadow before. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And Shadow got Thor's win, jumped in the water temple, set it.
Yep.
Very nice race between both of you guys. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the next one?
Well, good question. Let me go look at our...
I believe it's
feel like it's
Tuesday
tomorrow.
sometime.
Oh, Tuesday, yeah.
yeah,
that's still
Tuesday
Monday.
at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, midnight Central. That's a terrible time of day for the Europeans. Yikes. But yeah,
Oh,
Tuesday
boy.
the 29th is our next OTR qualifier, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Our next one will be Thursday, the 1st, at a much nicer time for the Europeans, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. Central. So yeah, we'll hope to see you then. I guess we'll start wrapping up, I suppose, at this point.
Yeah. Any final words from the Razors?
See you next time. It's fun racing. Thanks for casting. Star, you're a real workhorse doing all these commentary races lately, so I really appreciate your hard work. And August, it's always a pleasure. It's a shame that I won't be able to see you in person this year at the event, but there's always
I'm
next
not sure
time,
I
and I'm
would've.
sure we'll be chatting again before too long.
Yeah, I'm afraid I probably wouldn't have been able to attend in person anyway, so I'm glad I got to volunteer virtually. Actually.
All right, Mr. Mario, any final thoughts from you?
Seat sucks. That's all.
You're not
Join
wrong.
the Random Settings League, maybe?
Oh,
He's in
yeah,
it
yeah.
already. He's in
PSA,
it.
do random settings races if you're not. They're fun.
For that matter, join the OTR Discord. Also give these runners a follow, and my co-com here, August.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for us here on Speed Gaming. I don't think there's anything else going on for the night. So check out the schedule for tomorrow for whatever floats your boat. We'll be back on Tuesday for another qualifier race, qualifier number 3. See you all there.
Good night.